broadcasting to you from the rectum of the universe. Prepare yourself for the dulcet tones of a man from Barnsley in the heart of Yorkshire, England. A show about music, life, and a whole lot of bullshit. Hold on to your flat caps, open a cold one, and let's get this show on the road. It's the Matt Black Podcast.
No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
I like turtles.
These nuts.
8 o'clock in the morning, I'll have fish and a rice cake.
Disgusting!
Can somebody give me a high?
I can't believe you've done this.
I say whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe.
Got diagnosed with cool guy syndrome yesterday.
This is the moment for those who...
Oh, hello and welcome to the Matt Black Podcast. I've got two very good friends with me this evening, Mr. Andy Scott and Dale Radcliffe. Good evening. How are we doing? We're all right?
I'm still not 100% convinced that we're here, Andy, to not be the
Well,
first.
You did send us to the wrong address.
No, to be the first part of a human centipede.
It's the studio that gives off those vibes.
It can't be a very big human centipede. But one benefit is, if we do get down to the human centipede posture, I'm not going to bang his head on that roof, are we?
It's definitely built for me and Andy. Yeah.
We're good.
Our drummer in Farron, he's all right with
Well,
that.
I'm hardly the Jolly Green Giant, but I bang my head.
It's because we I to try and make it as soundproof as possible and then build a room inside a room.
There's only one way to test that.
Yeah? Well,
Shepherd's pie!
I was thinking something a bit ruder than shepherd's pie. But
yeah. We'd be the ideal three for doing that, really, because we can all sing squeaky high, can't we? So.
Was that not actually a prerequisite for the Matt Black Band when you phoned me up? I gather you can sing like the Chipmunks. Yes, you're in.
Yeah, everybody will say, oh, Matt's got quite a high voice, and then I'd be soaring through the clouds singing something, and then there's something else above me. What's that? Oh, it's Andy.
Dogs coming out all sorts from miles away.
Or leaving.
Leaving. Yeah.
That could have gone somewhere rude. What's that above me? Oh, it's Andy's ball sack.
I would have to be laid down for that. There's no other circumstances where that would happen. No.
Can I show you something funny? I know you've probably got.
Does it involve keeping your clothes on?
No.
As long as people watching on YouTube's.
Well, I was going to get this out of the way before I forgot, but I got you a wedding present
in a Tesco carrier bag.
Well, somebody's pinched me Louis Vuitton carrier bag.
All right, yeah.
No, I got you a wedding present.
Yeah. We got married in lockdown, so I'm guessing it's probably toilet rolls.
Well, the thing was, when you got married, this hadn't been invented, so I couldn't get it. I had to wait until it had been invented.
Right.
But something's really amused me when I walked in, and you'll see why. Because I thought he's not got one of these, and I thought, and it wasn't invented when you had your wedding, but. and then I walked in. I walked in, and what's the first thing I see?
It's all right because you've actually got me. It's so for people that's listening on just for the audio. It's a duck in the shape of a middle finger, but
it's a travel one. I bet you didn't have a travel one, did you?
I did not. No,
look
actually works as a set.
It's a.
You know, this could be a nightmare if anyone else comes along and I'm going to have loads of these lined up.
So,
Russian dolls.
I was really chuffed I got you that, and then I saw that and I thought,
yeah. It looks like a seat for you and Andy now. You can choose which one you want.
Does it vibrate?
They're, where did you get yours from? Where did you get it from? Not from Tesco, obviously.
No, that really expensive shop, Temu.
That's where, yeah.
I saw it on Temu because Temu crops up on my Facebook thanks to Carol Ann. So I went on eBay and I got one on eBay. It was a bit smaller than I thought. So I think mine's based on a child's hand and yours is an adult's hand.
I think.
Which is unusual for a bass player, for you to have
I've
child's
got
fingers.
doll's hands, haven't I?
You want to see? You want to see his new bass guitar? Do you know that tree that's just been chopped down near Adrian's wall?
Oh, yeah.
It's been made into a bass for me.
It's been made into a bass for him.
It's freaking enormous.
What have you bought?
It's a V5, I believe you have.
A V7 I've got.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
More like a V. It's more like a V8, to be honest.
Yeah. It's a big boy, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They're made out of proper wood, aren't
Well,
they?
no, thank you for that. That's much appreciated. I quite like having the idea of
I'm
a set of them
I'm
now.
just a bit gutted. It's already been done.
And it's at the forefront as well.
It's the first thing I saw when I walked in after I banged my head on roof.
after the stars have gone.
Yeah. And I saw that and I thought, oh,
No, I appreciate it. It's brilliant. Thank you very much.
no worries.
It's
Well,
good.
it's a travel size one because it is smaller than other.
I got a bit obsessed with like Timu recently because I always like kind of. I think they call it like hyper focus, and then I'm supposed to channel that into things that are being creative, but I actually just usually do some retail therapy with it, and I just get obsessed with a website.
You used to do that when you were pissed at 3 a.m. Next day you'd come and there'd be like a shit in a box and stuff like that you'd have delivered.
As a present, yeah. Not a real one, obviously.
I don't remember doing this. I think I might have been drunk all night on Amazon.
That's
so
what
Tim
this,
was really dangerous for you, mate.
This fridge down here, that's from that. I bought that when I was 18-year-old, and we'd been on a night out, and then I called into a friend's house because we just saw him through the window on the way home. He'd not been drinking, so obviously it was great fun for him for 4 lads to come in, smashed at 2 a.m. while he's trying to play on his PlayStation. And I somehow just sat there and ended up on his laptop and bought that. And I don't remember buying it.
You don't remember buying a lot of the stuff you bought.
Yeah. But because you can put your full name, can't you?
Yeah,
And then you can put company name and stuff like that. And I put something about something dildo related on it. I can't remember what it was that long ago. I know, 18-year-old. Yeah. Thought I were hilarious. And then when I got to 19 is when I met you guys. So anyone that doesn't know, when did we first cross paths? I think you ran
that pub, Carbrook.
Back end of Stage Fright, I think, wasn't it?
I first met you at that Carbrook after Crimes of Passion had been rehearsing next room to you, and met you in Beer Garden at Carbrook because you were John Hardman.
Yeah,
so I think that's when I first physically met you.
Yeah, I heard you through wall before I spoke to you, and I was just thinking, oh.
He's got a gob on him.
I'm going to sell my microphone. But I think I met Andy when I think you were running Ruskin's bar at the time.
Yeah, it was actually. Yeah.
And you'd booked us to play outside there. Did we do 1 or 2 years there? I can't remember.
2, I think, mate. Yeah.
Because 1 year
it pissed it down.
Yeah,
1 year.
Quite heavy rain. And you did you play? Did Psi Phi play?
Yeah,
one of Andy's
Psi Phi,
bands.
and then Shrimp played as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mr. Whitley.
That was the first time I ever saw Pod as well. Watching him and just listening to him play is an amazing experience. But then listening to him speak between songs is just a glorious experience.
He's like a professor, isn't he?
Yeah.
That was stuff.
Even if something's just happened in front of him and his response sounds like it's been rehearsed for hours before, and it's just amazing. I love the way his mind works. So, for the ones that don't know then, so Andy and Dale, they're in multiple bands together? Because I can never keep up, because we all, it's all a bit kind of...
We're all interchangeable.
We all just keep rubbing up against each other in different formats.
I mean, Andy groomed me when I was about 16.
Sounding familiar, really. He was 18.
And yeah, you got off lightly. So Andy groomed me when I was about 16, and in some shape or form, through most of till present day, we've been involved in something together through most of it.
We haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Tigerzye were the first one.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. No, so it was Diva.
Diva. Yeah.
First
Well,
one,
Marlowe. You needed a singer, didn't it? The band was called Marlowe, and then when I joined, he decided to like rebrand it and start from scratch and call it. Because I the first time I gigged for you, you approached me and touched me, and
what year were this?
And gave me some lyrics. Probably about 86, 87, something like that.
That's when I was born.
And
86.
And he said,
I was still old.
We're playing. we're playing at Nelson Mandela's house in. Actually, right, it's called the Nelson Mandela Building.
Right.
No, it's the
Show us on the duck where Andy touched you.
The Nelson Mandela Building, which at the time was part of the students'
Polytechnic,
that's
wasn't
it.
it?
And Andy said we're playing at Polytechnic because I knew him through
So
work.
what's Polytechnic? I don't know what that is.
Poor People's University.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right.
Sheffield's got main university and Polytechnic. Oh, but it's not. It's just called Sheffield Hallam now, isn't it? Sheffield Hallam University.
See, I'm that poor. I didn't even know what that was. So.
And,
So I had 2 weeks to learn this set of Marlowe's songs. So I did that gig
in a venue the size of O2, isn't it?
Yeah,
It was about
big
1,200,
venue.
1,500.
And then that was it. We decided to stick together and wrote some different songs and renamed as Diva then, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Yeah.
Did that for about 7 or 8 years, didn't we? I think, something like that. Did singles and stuff like that.
So Diva was the original band then?
Yeah, I mean, we got scuppered really in the end. We were kind of on the back end, on the tail end of the sort of AOR-y
A band that
Bon
almost
Jovi
made
yeah.
it.
That's the story of my life.
That showcase we did.
Yeah, yeah, and the show after the showcase in London, there were a couple of companies interested, and one in particular, was it Chrysalis, I think. And
EMI and Sony and everybody.
Oh, it was.
Oh, and the John Deacon story as well.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
But at the end of that gig, we were summoned, weren't we, by him, and he really wanted to sign us. But the sort of head of A&R was sort of looking for the new. It was all grunge stuff coming in, wasn't it? Really?
Nirvana
just got signed, didn't it? Yeah,
pretty much, and that just like changed the whole rock scene overnight.
And we were never going to be that. He said, like, this is like the best band I'd come in here for a couple of years. If you'd have been in last year, we'd have signed you, and you'd have been established by now. But I can't justify signing another AOR band now when everybody's looking for Nirvana.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so now you need to put a check shirt on and
and be whiny and
be angry
take
at
lots
your
of
dad
and blow your brains out.
Well, that wouldn't cement a long career, really. I
No,
imagine,
not
so.
really, no.
No, but as long as it got signed, I'd have been happy doing that. That's
Small price to pay.
That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, and actually, John Deacon came to see us, didn't he?
Yeah.
And passed us on. I mean, he was
To
passing us
Sony.
numbers
Like,
that we just couldn't really.
Pretty much the main man at Sony,
It was.
EMI, or
In,
whatever.
in USA.
Yeah, because a friend of ours that did the artwork for Diva, his wife's sister is John Deacon's wife. So John Deacon was at his wedding and helped us pack his cable because we played his wedding. So John Deacon helped us pack the cables away and like, it's John Deacon at a Queen. He's putting my mic cable away.
Yeah, because he was stood chuckling over where he was talking to me, and I said, "What's up?" He said, "I've not had to like do my own leads for a long time." So I just chucked one at him and knocked his son out, mate. And he just stood
John Deacon at Queen.
finding leads up.
Packing our cables away.
But he gave us an opportunity. It was Virgin, actually. I can even remember the guy's name.
Right, yeah, Kaz.
Kaz,
That's it.
head of Virgin America.
Did he have the little yellow shorts on while they were bending over doing your cables?
Actually, yes. But yeah, no came out of that, unfortunately. Again, we're just timing one.
Yeah, timing. But this was back when you had to post a tape to these people.
An audio cassette.
Yeah, you had to post a cassette to these people. Wow.
Maybe you could post an image on Matt so that some of the younger viewers know what an
Yeah.
audio cassette is.
Yeah, I'll put a picture of a cassette tape on the screen just in case. But yeah, it's weird how it's changed though, because it was CDs when I started, but even now do people send anything physical to anyone anymore?
I doubt it.
I still send things.
I managed to get some knickers sent from a company to our drummer Josh.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's not discreet at all. It says on it that it's worn knickers inside. So it was quite an awkward conversation with the postman. Yeah, because it says it has to be hand delivered and signed for as well. So you get that embarrassment.
I'm sure he loved it.
Well, probably him, no, but maybe the bass player Josh, yeah. It's, that were probably just like a regular Wednesday for him, really.
Yeah.
So
He'd knit a pair now, though, wouldn't he?
Oh yeah, that That's not an attractive image, is it?
It's not. No.
Knitted knickers.
It's a challenge, Josh.
Yeah.
Make bear.
If you are watching,
I'm
yeah.
a 30 waist.
We should not talk about you with various underwear, really. So we went.
You're still 30 waist.
Yeah.
So
Are you?
them pants that Dave Brooks gave just literally dropped straight to your ankles.
Yeah. In fact, that's the last time you saw me. I was in a pair of blue Speedos, wasn't I?
Yeah. I feel I should probably give context here.
You probably should. Yeah.
We recently attended Andy's 60th birthday party.
Come on.
Yeah, I've blinked and you've suddenly become 60. It seems 2 seconds since your 50th party, but
Yeah.
so as usual, you were just getting everyone that's played in bands with you to turn up and play,
I'm a cheapskate.
which is half a Sheffield, really. And as I walked in, Andy had got some kind of blue thong on over the top of his.
It was over the top of
No,
the
stage
stage.
They're not. It's not a thong. They were full bottomed Speedo pants.
Right.
Not a thong.
They still have the S on
Let's
them.
just get that straight.
Yeah, you don't want to look ridiculous.
No, that sounds stupid, Matt. I just wouldn't do that.
But you did have your usual stage clothing
I did,
underneath,
yeah,
though.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Red Speedos underneath. But
I do
yeah.
need to get those back to Dave, actually.
Oh, they're on a loan
they're
basis.
not on-
They're
They're
on
not-
loan basis.
they're
Yeah.
not.
They are.
He's got some new ones. I've seen his cruise photos.
Oh, you don't want to look at
Have you got the stain out of them?
No, nothing's going to bring that out. Not even silly
thought-
thang.
Ah, right. I've just lost all respect for Dave. I thought he'd actually given them you.
No,
That's
it's
awful.
a loan. Got to send them back to Scotland. Otherwise, his next cruise is going to be wearing Noughting Pool.
So not only do you get dirty pants for your birthday, you've also got postage costs as well.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's terrible.
And these people like you.
Does he like me? I think he does, yeah. Well, he came all the way from Scotland, didn't he? No, actually, he came all the way from...
Define
Tenerife.
define like you.
Tolerate, I think.
I think that's it. Every band member that I've ever been in a band with is
tolerate.
just intolerant mode. We're doing all right. The guys in Farron, we've been in this lineup now for 10 years.
Have you really?
This year.
You were on
noticed
ARFM other day, 'cause I listened to ARFM.
Do they still play us?
Yes.
Oh, they ain't going to play our new stuff.
No.
It's a little bit angry now.
No,
isn't
it was. It was a screamo one.
It can't be.
It was a screamo one.
There was only kind of like light screaming on the last one.
This is all proper middle-aged rant stuff now.
Oh, it's awful now. This is, yeah. My grandparents aren't going to like the new album at all.
Is everything all right at home, Matt?
Yeah.
But you just like to rant about stuff more as you get older. Don't you?
Yeah,
No,
I think
you do,
it's
yeah.
I'm just becoming like more Victor Meldrew.
No,
I was like,
do you know what?
like when
You just said the name that come into my head because do you know when we used to watch?
I've got his hairstyle.
When you used to watch One Foot in the Grave as a kid, it used to bore you and think, what a grumpy old twat. But then when you get older, you know you're getting old when you can watch. When you watch that and think, actually, he's got a point. That's the point where you get old. We think he's got a point.
Yeah.
It's where you start off when you're kind of like young and full of energy and you're passionate about things and you're incredibly left wing, and as you get older you start getting a little bit more right wing and you don't know why it's happening
just
and you
happens
don't
so
really
bad.
want it to happen.
You've not resisted it.
But everything just annoys you.
And it's all coming out on the next album.
Oh yeah.
First song's called Where Did I Put My Fucking Keys?
Why don't you put the toilet seat down?
Track 2.
Yeah, that's what that sound effect is. Clunk.
Well, my next song, being inspired as soon as I walk through the door, why does that little ball of fluff just bark at me?
You walked straight past me.
I
It just kind of went, excuse me.
Why? Why did it just concentrate on me and kept concentrating on me, even though I tried the most to be friendly, and it's still...
I should explain.
'Cause you
This,
look like a cat.
This is my dog Otis. He's a Pomeranian, and he just ran straight past Andy and straight to Dale because you've got what is it like a
See, I normally
glittery
get.
leopard print?
I normally get on with people from Pomerania.
I was just saying that. Is that next to Romania? In exile.
But yeah, so last time you came when we did a little test podcast to my old house with very little gear and just squashed in a spare room.
Idea.
I had a different dog then. We had a dog called Pete.
Stinky Pete.
Stinky Pete, as you called him.
Stinky Pete.
He could be, but he was white Alsatian, Labrador, and Bull Mastiff mixed together. So he was taller than Andy, but
Didn't have to try hard.
But
Otis is.
he didn't make a sound, did he? He just come and sniffed you and licked you.
Exactly.
Like I did.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah. Lick Marmite from anything. But then when we lost Pete, we lost Pete the day we moved into this house, and I said,
really?
and we said,
Really?
yeah, I know, and we said we're not going to get another dog now. We can't take the
How
heartache.
old was Pete?
Between 11 and 13.
Okay, right.
So maybe 12. If you know that number. But yeah, we said no, we're not going to get another one. Because animal lovers get it, don't they? But people that, if you've not had dogs and you're not really into it, you've obviously got like every animal
I've
got
not
to
got
do
dogs, but I've got a menagerie of rodents.
So what are we
critters.
looking at now? What have you got now?
10 chinchillas, 10 rabbits,
10 chinchillas now?
There's no exaggeration in this as well.
No,
I've been to his
no,
house.
seriously, 10 chinchillas, 10 house rabbits, 3 dago.
Like walking through the jungle.
And the hardest to look after is the
Live from Dale's lounge.
so, it
I
pretty
think
much
Caroline
is.
in the background.
It pretty much is 10 chinchillas, 10 house rabbits, 3 dago, and a Geordie.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
But the Geordie's the hardest to look after.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
No, we said it's nice. It's quite nice. Like the house is clean. You don't have to put anything anywhere.
Sorry, can I?
Yeah.
It's not that clean.
What, my house? No, it's not now because we've got a dog. So
Yeah. Was clean.
yeah, it was nice. It was nice and clean, and there weren't toys everywhere. There weren't cushions just being ripped up and pissed on and stuff like that.
I'm only kidding.
Only on a Saturday night.
I'm only kidding. Worst that happens is that when I walk through the door, within 5 minutes, coughed up a fur ball. Right,
Yeah,
it's all right.
but that's come from your house. So clearly he licks the animals back.
Yes.
But yeah, but then we kind of said we said, oh, you know, when you kind of like, oh, I just kind of think I want another pet again. So we're like, oh, I want another dog, and I wanted a big dog. I wanted a Rottweiler. I was obsessed with Rottweilers. I think we'd watched Gogglebox. There's a family that's got 3 or 4 of them.
Dave the dog.
Yeah, and I just want something that's not a child that I can name something stupid again. And
Somebody lied to you then, because
Well,
that's
yeah.
not a big
No,
dog.
No.
That's not a...
No, but
Yeah.
you can have. You can also name steam engines. You could have.
It's not the same. It's not. Yeah. I think I just wanted a friend, but I wanted a
Oh,
big.
a steam engine can be a friend.
I wanted a big. I wanted a big friend.
Steam engines are big. Sorry, but
not gonna win, am I?
Sorry, but you're not winning this.
No. So we just said. I said I really want a big dog, and Libby wanted a small dog, so we compromised
And got a small dog.
and got a small dog. Yeah. So we've got a
But
Pomeranian.
with big fur.
Yeah. Well, we trimmed him in the summer, and I hated it because he just looked like a rat. It was weird. I don't dislike rats, but when you buy something, you want it to. You know, if you bought a Ferrari and it looked like a Corsa, you're not going to be very happy. Are you, son? But yeah, so he's just starting to fluff back up again now. He's going to be 2 next month, so we're not gonna do the all over the top thing. Libby piped him a mashed potato cake last year, and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, with a little
Actually, I
one
quite
on it.
fancy that.
He had a little party.
That sounds like a film I once watched.
We're not going to that.
Okay. All right.
Moving on.
Dale,
don't-
make that work. You've
I
got
don't-
some kind
Make-
of
he's got-
device, haven't you?
Oh, watch this.
The guys have brought their own beers, but Andy's driving, so he's got a
San Miguel Zero.
0. Yeah.
God,
It actually tastes all right. They used to taste horrid, didn't they? Like with a real metallic aftertaste, and
Yeah.
give you the worst hangover than if you actually had drunk.
Like
I'll
was it
just-
Beck's Blue was the first one I
yeah.
ever had.
I'll open it
years ago.
I'll open it over me Louis Vuitton carrier bag. It's not froth. I'm sorry.
I've just got a really strong coffee because I've got fear of being bullied with you guys turning up. So
Hey, don't worry about bullying from us, because you don't know nothing about. You don't know nothing.
It started.
You don't know nothing. You don't know nothing about bullying until you've been cyberbullied online by the Lighthouse family.
I did get attacked online once.
By the Lighthouse family?
No. I can't even remember what the guy were called. You know when you see something funny and you think, I'm
Chuck Norris? Because it's not.
No,
if it's Chuck Norris, it's not bullying.
I won't be alive if Chuck Norris come after me now. No, you see something funny on internet, you think, that's good. I want to share that onto something. So normally, if it's on Twitter, you retweet, wouldn't you? I've deleted Twitter now because I just find it boring. I think it's changed names, hasn't it? But that's another story. Yeah. And then I thought, I want that, but I want to post it onto Facebook. So I just copy or save or whatever and put it. I definitely sound like I'm 37 now.
You do.
Hey kids. But yeah, I copied it across and put it onto Facebook, and I think it were. A cucumber and a Vaseline in a shopping basket and it's something along the lines of making the cashier feel awkward. Someone tagged someone in it who was apparently a comedian who originally posted it, and the next minute he'd put something on his page and about 50,000 people on his Twitter started bombarding me. But not only bombarding me, going on to every link they could find of me and slagging it off.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I played an event that I think it was like a Planet Rock event or something, and there were two guys that were on pressed against the crowd barrier. There's a right variety of ages there, but there were two guys who must have been 60-year-old there, so they were going, you've only got 60-year-old fans and all this stuff, and anything they could find that they could do to slag me off, and I was like I've just got no idea what's going on. But then my phone battery died because there were just that many notifications.
I don't remember that one.
I can't remember what the guy was called. I'm sure someone will remember the post of the cucumber, because they'll be, that comedian was very funny, which he was very funny. But yeah, he wasn't very happy because. But apparently it was because I'd not tagged him in it. But I don't think I got it from him. I think I've got it on those viral pages where they just take it, but they don't. Sometimes they tag the original creator, but they don't always do it. And I just took it from a viral page, but the next minute, all hell broke loose. Yeah.
Wow.
It were interesting because no one talks to me on Twitter, so it were quite nice for about 10 minutes. But yeah, no, it's gone now. I've deleted it. I'm not really.
No, I don't use that at all.
I can't be bothered to keep up with multiple pages. I don't know about you. I know you can link them together and things like that, but I don't know. I've had 6 to 8 months not having a Facebook page and stuff, which has been heaven. And then then we've started doing gigs again. I'm like,
so you got to, aren't you? Really? Yeah.
I've got to have one because no one knows what we're doing and things like that. So,
well, to be fair, we're doing a Toto's tribute band. We don't really need Twitter or Instagram because most of our fans are over 60 and have never heard of Instagram.
Well,
Facebook's pushing it. To be fair, so.
we tell most of our fans through Toto UK by posting them a letter.
Yeah.
Posting them a nice letter, monthly flyer.
Yeah. Just stand in the town centre ringing a bell with gig dates.
Put it in that club guide. What was it called? Was it Mercury? What would it call that club guide?
Yeah, Mercury. Yeah, it was something like that one. Yeah.
What's it? What is it called? Club something. What's the guide? It's not.
It's
called.
Not
There's
Mercury. Another one, wasn't
there? There was another one. I forgot what it's called. You
really
have all the local gigs around.
Got snippets out of it, and yeah.
I used to love being on clubs. Some of them clubs were just incredible.
Jeepers.
Walkley. I mean, there were some great stages, weren't there? Some of them clubs had fantastic stages, and they're gone now, and we're not getting them back. But Walkley Club, do you remember? It was a great club.
Yeah.
But that club sec, all them years, we had a banner 15 foot across that said Tigerzye. And every gig he got it wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on stage, Tiger Eyes. And I'm like, no, mate, it's Tigerzye. Okay. Second and say, ladies and gentlemen, Tigerzye.
Yeah.
Tigerzye.
We had it when we were on clubs with stage fright. We got Fright Night quite often as well. But we once actually
there was a Fright Night.
Yeah, and that's why people were confused that I were turning up not in suspenders.
Yeah, because they did.
And we'd not got kind of Thriller-esque costumes on.
Just for once.
Yeah. Only at home.
It was there
I
actually
remember,
at Walkley that I'd set up, and I spent about half an hour taping all multi-core down under all desks, or putting them all like, set all the mixing desk up.
You must have been really slow. You got a lot of gaffer tape. That's a long time for gaffer
No,
taping,
set,
that, isn't it?
set your
Half an
desk
hour.
up and everything. I'd set the whole desk up, mic'd it all up.
That's how loaded. That's how
20.
loaded. That's how loaded we were. Could afford to just run gaffer tape for like half an hour.
Like 28 minutes into gaffer taping, and Andy's just taped himself up like a straitjacket.
No, but they'd watched me. All the bar staff had watched me do that. And then Ernie comes in, and he's like, I sit there. I'm like, there was nobody else in.
Fastest milkman in the West.
Not that fast. But anyway, he comes in and he's like, I sit there. So I'm like, well, you could sit there or there. And there's nobody else in the room. No, I sit there.
Yeah, that's...
But I've sat there for 42 years.
It's about time you had a change.
So I went to bar staff. I went, mate, I've set this up. You watched me like half an hour. Ernie says he sits there, you know, and I've just, he sits there. You're going to have to move it. I'd put off and sort of move it all. But
See, I don't get that now, because it's like I had time doing bands in clubs, but the bands I'm in now don't play clubs, but I still do I do some solo club gigs,
lunchtime,
but everything's all kind of on
self-contained,
sat on stage, so you I don't have like, because I used to, because obviously like young and fiery, I'd argue with like concert secs when they'd come in, the concert secretaries, and they'd say, they'd see John with like massive hair, like 80s hair, and go, "You're not a rock band, are you?"
Well,
I gave it away.
Sure.
But is it the part that says rock band on the poster that you've booked?
Yeah.
But you'd always have to go and set your desk up somewhere in the middle of the room, and there'd be 60 tables, like a massive Sheffield place, like a Rundle or something like that. Then a couple would come in and go, "We can't put that there." What? We sit there. Yeah. And I mean, I'm a much more polite person now, but then I go, "Not tonight, you know."
I had to move all that, though. They made me untape everything and move the desk about 6 foot to the left.
Oh, no,
because
I won't
Ernie
back down.
sat there.
I won't back down.
I wasn't happy. And then same night, another guy, Lorna went.
You weren't happy? Which one were you then?
Grumpy, to be fair, that night. Same night, and a guy came in, and Lorna, Wall, and a bunch were sat in a little bay, and this guy came on his own and sat in middle of them, and just sat like that. And they were all talking around him. And he just sat there with his arm fine.
You have a trench coat
I sit
on.
here, and I'm not bloody well moving. Actually, after bingo. I can't get my breath.
I love like stubborn old Yorkshiremen. They're brilliant.
I think I'm turning into that now, though. I'm quite enjoying that.
There's so much rustling going on near Dale. How many cans have you brought with you?
How's that helping your microphone, mate?
Oh, I've got so many things to edit. No, it's nicer not having to deal with it now. They're much more polite to me. I know the drill. They know the drill. Yeah. They know they're not going to get angry at me because there's no drum kit because they're telling you to turn it down. Yeah. You can't turn it down. Well, you're going to have to play them quieter then. Have you ever actually tried to play drums at speed?
They don't say They don't say turn it down. They say tone it down.
Tone it down, lads.
So there's a difference between turn and tone. So just like just tone, which didn't alter the volume.
We always liked that. I think it was John and Phil that taught me with the FAT. The call toggle.
Just
and they
DFA
come up,
as well.
Yeah, and they come up and say, "Can you turn it down a bit?" And then you'd turn a channel that's not even anything. It's not even working.
Yeah.
All the bits, the faders broke off. And go, "How's that?" "Oh, much better. Cheers, thumbs up."
We've had club set coming to us after. Your sound man ever so helpful.
Yeah.
Turned it down twice for me. Good lad.
Ridiculous.
They'd have like a. I'm trying to remember them. Like there'd be like a Hammond organ on stage with a sheet over it,
and a set of drums kits, sparkly drums. They were sparkly drums, and then Christmas trees and 42 chairs.
It's not as bad as a bingo machine being left in the dressing room. So you see a bingo machine with the balls and you plug it in and it blows the air and ping pong balls with numbers on. So you see that.
I've never seen one of them in real life.
Have you
They're
not?
all digital.
No,
Yeah.
but right,
Oh, no, it's a
okay,
proper old school.
okay. So we were privileged. We saw one of them. What's the natural reaction? You do that. You piss in it, don't you? Of course you do. So it comes out on stage, set up in front of where I'd normally stand, and turns it on. Like all these ping pong balls blowing up, and he's getting him out and wiping him on his trousers and going, I think Ban spilt a pint on this, and then call it numbers out.
It's awful, isn't it? Because it's like
No, it's not. It's funny.
But you go to these dressing rooms and they've not been clean while I've been alive.
No.
Definitely not.
No.
I can't remember where I were this weekend, and I were in a room that I had to film it and send it to some group chats to show them because I actually thought it were carpeted, but it were dust online.
A thick pile dust.
Oh,
And then the only
that dust, it'll be dandruff
maybe I don't know,
and skin.
but they were they were black mold like in certain areas, and I closed the door because I thought, I'm going to watch some like Instagram reels while they're playing bingo and stuff like that, but I don't want to put my headphones in, and so I shut the door, and within 10 minutes I couldn't breathe, so I had to open it up, but then like the sink, which usually like the sinks are used as toilets, aren't they?
Oh,
especially
yeah.
when band's going,
Yeah.
and this sink this had got like a layer of fluff and hair all over it, and then just this streamline that were clean where there were clearly a river of piss that had gone down because there were a few short and curlies that were like along the way down. And I was thinking, I'm not washing my hands in here, and I didn't really spend any time in it. I try not. To be fair, it's like it's all right because when you're playing in bands and stuff, people, not that I don't want to talk to people, but you lose your voice talking over music in between and stuff like that. But so when you're playing with like a tribute band or an original band, you try to hide as the singer, don't you? Usually until afterwards. Then you socialise after, and you, as John will say, you press the flesh, and you want to sell merch and stuff like that, and you want to interact with people, make them connections. But then when you go out in a working men's club and they're playing bingo, you can sit anywhere and they don't care. They don't care that you're there. Even when you're on stage, they probably don't care that you're there.
You're only waiting for bingo anyway.
Yeah, it's interesting, but it keeps you grounded though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Because
it does,
like,
yeah.
how many guys do we know that will like they'll play in like club bands, pub bands, and they'll also do something that involves playing something amazing as well. Like we've all done it. We'll play like a festival to thousands of people, and then next minute you're in a pub corner playing on some 70s carpet, and you're all like squished up against each other, or you're playing a club where they don't even know that you're there. We always used to joke about the idea to say like live on, I just say bingo, and then underneath it to say stage fright or something.
It's much smaller.
Yeah, just like puppet show plus Spinal Tap.
Yeah, meat raffle.
Yeah, well, fucking on meat raffle.
He had the audacity to win that once.
I won it. Yeah.
They were proper shuffling the bosom. Turns one meat raffle. I know what you've got to put it back.
It's like you've travelled from far, and you're not.
It were at something like Eton Buffs or something like that. Eton Buffs, like working men's club.
In
We won. And all like mid set, we'd done his first set. And the room emptied of men. And they all went across at booze across, and we were like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah, there was not a single
and we
person.
played there several times, so we learnt the click and used to go across the road with blokes, but it was still proper, like old school, like man, woman, stay here, play meat raffle, kind of thing. And it was still like, and so anyway, before we knew this, we had to go on meat raffle, and we won it. So and we were like, we won at raffle. This big tray of meat with blood running out of it and stuff like.
Answer him. You got on that back. He's like, no, there's some good sausages on there.
This table of women, like these big old. I wouldn't have fought none of them.
No.
But she looked over and she goes, like face like that, and she goes, they're getting paid and all.
And now they've got us sausages, man.
Yeah. No, they've got. Yeah.
So this is North East. So you've got to drive it back in a warm van as well.
So
you'd rather drive it back and risk getting food poisoning than give it away to someone.
Every single bit of that meat hit a road sign all down A1. Because we just
to spite.
launch stuff out, like a chicken. Can I get that road sign? Boom, splat. Yes.
Yeah. Wildlife having a field day.
Yeah.
Hen shaft at end of week.
Yeah.
Do you remember up there when we played up Jordan? We played Ready to Go.
Ready to go.
Is it Ready to Go? Yeah, and it were Sunderland anthem, and we didn't know. Ready to go. We didn't know it was Sunderland anthem, and we're in Newcastle. Yeah. Sunderland just hammered Newcastle 3-0, and they thought we were taking the piss playing because it's Sunderland anthem. They're banging on door. What are you fucking
Republica, ready to go.
Yeah, it's not one thing you really want to do, is it? Make your audience hate you.
No, not
that was in our set list.
It's weird now because it's like now I'm so polite to when I'm doing solo gigs to. Cause it's mostly older people and stuff, so there's no profanity and no risky jokes and things like that. But then obviously, like when you guys remember when I were a bit younger, and then I didn't really want to be on clubs, and I knew I was finishing in 3 months, so I'd just abuse the audience from the moment we walked on stage and just take the piss out of everything I could find. I did actually get a bit of a gobful on Sunday in Castleford.
Did you?
Because I were doing a solo gig at this place, and all these Wilco staff came in. Wilco's had just closed down. So I acknowledged the fact that they were there, and acknowledged the fact that it's probably an emotional day and stuff like that, and just getting everyone to cheer for them and things like that for the years of service. Then I had a little bit of a joke and just said asked what they were going to do now, and a few people shouted what they were going to do, and one woman said, I ain't got anything lined up. And I said, well, you could just maybe sell all the stationery that you've nicked. And she went mental. She come running to front at stage, finger in my face, pointing at me. And I've worked there for 17 years, and I would never steal. And I thought, if I knew you, it would be, maybe you could take offence. But I have no idea who you are, so it's just a silly joke.
She obviously has then.
So she probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I just said to her, I said, stop showing off now, just because you've not got to get up tomorrow.
If you haven't,
making it better then.
If you hadn't stole anything, you just laugh.
Yeah.
She obviously did.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's...
What's her name?
I don't know.
Give her a shout out.
She didn't stick around for very long. The rest of them stuck around. They were all partying. They were dancing like it were end of the world and not bothered. You would. Why not? I'd have a blowout if I were moving on to something else.
Andy just touched my leg,
Did he?
Yeah.
No, I just remember something else.
Did you remember being 14 or something then?
That's how he got me in band. He just touch. Sorry.
It's the Jimmy Savile book of auditioning.
Yeah.
No, I remember
he's trending again now, isn't he? Because of that new documentary thing or drama, whatever it is.
You don't have to touch to tell me something.
When we were at Walkley Club, and that one was great for finding shit in changing room, Christmas trees, everything.
Oh, yeah.
But Shed, there were a bit where he went on stage for ages because Shed did a solo and Still Got the Blues. It went on for about a week.
Yeah.
Really good playing, but...
even I used to drag that out, and I can't even play.
Oh, he made that 4 times. He made it look an amateur, mate. He really went for it. And he obviously got bored in changing room.
He'd have his eyes shut. Yeah. Got to pull them faces.
And he'd found a flat cap and a janitor's coat and a brush, and he came on stage with it all on behind Shed, sweeping. Shed's like, and he's behind and we're all creasing. He's excuse me, and sweeping up.
Yeah, I remember that.
You start tackling the gear down.
He used to do all sorts. When Shed were doing his solo, he used to do all sorts like behind his back, but not so Shed could see it because it put him off. But
you wouldn't want to do that, would you?
That rest of these could see it. And I did one where I got a paper bag. And started doing that magic trick where, do you remember that comedian that put a paper bag in, the tongue would come out of eye sockets and out of mouth, like doing that. And then Shed, his hairbrush and his like moisturiser and stuff like this, it was all in a little... I mean, I'd have like a, I don't know, insignia for men, like with a zip on top kind of thing. At least it were a man's one.
Floral,
At least it
wasn't
were a man's one. Is like his wife's old makeup bag with his moisturiser in and his brush and, stuff like this, frizzies and stuff like that. And I brought that like that behind him like that.
I'm going to hold my hand up. My first like decent little toiletries bag to take to tours was, I think it was like my girlfriend at the time, cast off one, and I didn't want to buy another one, and it were like bright peach with like flowery vinyl coating on the top part of it.
Classic.
Yeah, but I thought, well, no one's going to see it. And then they made video phones.
Yeah.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah.
What's your? Have you got any kind of like strange kind of habits when you're on tour? Is there anything you have to take with you, or anything that any strange, something that you do that you find will just be a bit unique to you?
Do you know? I don't think I do. I think everybody else would know yours more, I suppose, won't they? I don't think I do. Have any little sort of things I have to do? Go to the bar. I don't know if you do either, particularly.
No, not really. Because at the end of the day, you've got your own personal shit, like, I don't know, the comb I like to use, or the whatever.
Yeah, same. It's in a glass case now.
But none of this is the end of the world if you ain't got it, because you can buy anything anywhere. You know, every airport you go through, you can buy anything there. So if you've forgot something, I think it's more like an item of clothing for me. If I forgot the like the Converse I want to wear on stage, or shit, or the jacket I was supposed to wear. I think it's more for me the item of stage clothing that I want to wear, because my stage clothing is kind of like thought out and
Wow.
Decided after.
You think about that shit.
I thought you just rolled through the wardrobe.
like super glued and thrown in Oxfam.
Yeah.
No, but I think
perfectly, except for I've got Carol Ann's shoes on. But
I think it's just probably stage clothing, items of stage clothing, because everything else you can buy everywhere. Really?
I don't have anything like particularly strange, but we once did a Farron tour where I drove down to the Midlands to meet up together in the van. So we got to the drummer's house.
And you forgot something that's not available in the Midlands.
Wait. So I got a full case of a week's worth of stage clothes and all this stuff. So the guys come, and obviously I'm the singer, so it's going to take a long time for me to load my gear because I don't really know what I'm doing. No. So they started unloading bits out of the back of my car, and I put some stuff in the van, and I thought they were putting things in the van, and they weren't. So our bass player Josh put my full massive case and my bag in the house, and then we set off down to like Harlow or somewhere down south.
Right.
So I gets there, and I'm looking around, and just didn't realise at first until we start, like, we've got the gear on stage, and then I'm trying to, like, figure out where my stuff is to put stuff get it ready in the dressing room. Like, where's my case? And Josh says, "Oh, what? The big black case?" Yeah. "Oh, it's in the house."
Oh, what?
Right. I said, "Well, I've got tracksuit bottoms on." An unironed t-shirts and trainers and glasses on with no contact lenses.
Oh no!
And then some scruffy beanie hat. Things that I just wanted to travel in, and then I had to do the entire gig. Just take my glasses off because I thought I'm not wearing glasses. I'm not wearing my glasses.
Stumble around stage.
Yeah. So like, I daren't walk anywhere. I can see figures, but I don't know who they are.
Turns out he did a whole gig in a chippy.
Yeah. Why does all this food keep turning up? But then we had to go back up to go and get it after the gig before we went on to the next place.
I mean, that's exactly what stage gear. Everything else you can cope with, but your stage gear, the specific image you want people to see on stage.
Yeah,
that's what
I couldn't even buy anything just to see me through because everything had shut. We were first band on anyway, so I was scuppered. Really,
could be worse. Like Rob, I don't think we were band at that time. I think you were. he got to a gig, and it suddenly dawned on him, I said, what's up? And he'd forgot to put his kit in. The drummer had drove himself to the gig without his drum kit.
What the hell?
He was such a tool.
It must be bizarre when you just get in your car and you think, I've got so much more energy than normal usually. Like when I get in car to drive to a gig, my arms are tired.
My car's doing a lot more to gallon. Ooh.
Yeah. Nothing's rattling. Yeah, this is a great day.
Until that, I could see the dawn of realisation on his face. What's up?
It's awful though when you think. I still do it. I've got like the other side of this room. I've got a little section just with live solo bits, and then I've got other sections of other gear, and I daren't take anything out to use for anything else because I'm scared I won't put it back in. Yeah. And I've got like a couple of line mics in a big bag with leads for solo gigs, and every time when I'm setting up, I'm getting all leads out, and then I have this little panic attack where I'm like, where's my microphones? Because they're in black cases and they're at the bottom of the bag. I know they're there, but because I can't see them that moment, I'm literally having a meltdown. There's beads of sweat if I can't find it straight away. Yeah, I'm always having these little moments. But I sometimes I'll make lists of stuff. If you're not doing things regularly, because when you get into a new band, you use new stuff.
Yeah.
You tend to forget stuff because it's not your routine, is it? And
you get
doing
into
it
the zone, don't you? After you've been doing it a while.
But then when you're doing multiple things like us, do you just remember things? Because I don't.
Well, no, because there's two lineups and then it's different gear in each. And I've had to count boxes now, so I know that if there's 6 boxes in car for Toto, I'm right. And if there's 5 cases in car for Shef Leppard, I'm right. Actually, it could be still a wrong box.
So how many bands are you in currently? So
two,
can we reel them?
Really.
So we've got Toto UK.
Yeah, and Tin Man, which is same band, isn't it? You know, we just,
but you play the rock covers on that. But the lesser played stuff, people don't dare to play usually.
Yeah, including
or
us.
are incapable of playing.
Yeah. That's all kind of. It's the bands you know, innit, but not the tracks you know. It'll be
exactly.
It'll be the really good track in the middle of the album that everybody actually goes, that's the best track off the album. We're not going to be doing Since You've Been Gone. There's quite a few people do that. But we are going to do Stargazer or something like that. And we really enjoy that. Because the original idea for that was actually, it was when we got back together from not playing for quite a while. We just said, look, if we're going to do it, we did Tigerzye for 10 years, whatever it was.
Dino's drum beat.
Yeah. And we'd done Tigerzye for 10 years doing usual ones. And we just said, if we're going to do something, we're going to play the songs we want to play, or suggest a song you've always wanted to do. Yeah. And we're both like, it'll probably bomb. We'll do a couple of gigs, but we'll have enjoyed playing what we want to do. But actually, people are like, God, that's off that album from 1987. Yeah. I've not heard anybody do that. And it's gone really well, actually.
Yeah, it's become like really special to us that we're just like, do you know what? I just don't want to be in a normal covers band that does Guns N' Roses anymore.
Do you not fancy singing Summer of '69 or Sweet Child of Mine?
Stab somebody in the face.
Living on a Prayer.
How much does it pay?
Oh, well, typical pub corner gig. You might get your expenses and a few beers.
Tell me dates. I'll check my diary. Yeah. No, but I mean, I've been in since Tigerzye ended. I literally wasn't in any covers bands apart from Van Hooligan, which
I remember
I was in Van Hooligan because Kev is the drummer of Crimes of Passion, my original band, and it just made sense that I sort of like agreed to kind of like help him out in a way, but I kind of enjoyed it a little bit, and it was good, and I was with Carl Morley, and we kind of had good fun, but I don't know, it's not right my cup of tea, but this thing with Drumbeat came along and they wanted a singer, and obviously it was working with Andy and John Hardman, and Pod was originally involved in Drumbeat, but it evolved into a band, and we found it was a band that could just play anything anybody suggested. I thought, actually, this is a bit different, because there was always an argument about like, oh well, yeah, I can't do solo for that, and in covers band before, and just this, that, and the other. But this band, for some reason, well, for the very reason that everybody's really, really good in this band, right, actually, we can play anything. I'm not
Yes
being
and
like
Genesis.
I'm sorry to sound like big-headed about that, but all of a sudden the covers thing appealed to me again, because actually there's not actually a lot of limits for the people involved in this Tin Man thing. There didn't seem to be any boundaries, so we can just suggest anything, and we go, yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
So we did it like freaking Ingrid J. Malmsteen
Rising Force.
and Rising Force and you know, and we started doing all sorts of stuff, and then we found that within a couple of rehearsals we were playing like Yes, changes by Yes, like that. Within a couple of rehearsals we're like, right, I'm suddenly interested in being a covers band again.
Yeah.
and this is kind of how the Toto thing came along, because Toto was one of probably, although the Tin Man had all these Yes and Uriah Heep and Asia and circulating, all these sort of like difficult proggy type songs, but the most circulated band and the most popular band with us all was Toto. Toto songs circulated quite a lot, and the Toto suggestions were Toto after Toto after Toto after Toto.
And it seemed to suit us, didn't it?
Yeah. So that's how we thought, do you know what? When we thought, let's be a tribute show, there's plenty of people doing Journey, there's plenty of people doing blah, 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 Rainbow, and et cetera, et cetera. Not many are doing Toto, and Toto is one of the most suggested and circulated songs in our, bands in our set. So that's how we became Toto UK, and we love it, don't we?
Yeah, do. And plus, it gives us an opportunity to play the bigger stages, because for it doesn't matter how good you are, you know, because the Tin Man lineup is really good, I have to say. But because it's a covers band, you play pubs, don't you? You know, like these big venues like 11 or whatever, you know, they're like, oh no, we're a tribute bands, as if like covers bands are a crapper version or something. But now, just because the same lineup plays Toto, all those venues, oh yeah, we'll have the
I think it depends as well, like kind of how you market it as well, because like like the guys in UK Rock Show, they're basically the same set that they play. Is their cover band version, pretty much, but they market it in such a way that it does really well on the theatres, and obviously the great live band as well. And but yeah, I think it's one of those that you've just got to keep keeping yourself busy and doing different projects. Like it's naturally, when you get a lineup of doing one thing, you all kind of want to do. You kind of gravitate towards something, especially in a covers band, don't you? I've done it with covers bands before, and thought like when I was doing like Def Leppard stuff. I can remember me and John Hardman, we were planning on doing a Def Leppard tribute a long time ago and stuff, just because we were playing Def Leppard stuff quite well in the covers band, and it felt
right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's obviously the first time I managed to see you guys doing Toto UK were at your birthday.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Mind blown. It were amazing. And I've watched a handful of Toto tributes over the last 12, 13 years or so, and they don't cut it. Everybody plays them. Everyone plays but they play the usual stuff. They play Hold the Line and stuff like that. But they don't always play it right. The drummer's not got that kind of groove and things like that. But not everyone that plays in a covers band is that technical. And I've found when I've just growing up playing in loads of covers bands that there is always someone or a few people that they do limit the band, but there's a lot of friendships that have been built, so you can't go, let's go and get a better guitar player, or let's get a better singer or drummer or whatever it may be, because it's your friends and you're doing it for fun. But then
so you work within the boundaries you've got there.
Unless you've actually handpicked everybody. I mean, you're obviously quite lucky with Tin Man that it is actually
that way,
it's a band of friends, but everyone is killer, and they gel together. So
because me, Dale, and Shed in that go back to the early Tigerzye days. So that's like from late 80s, isn't it? Early 90s. Yeah. But you know, me and Shed haven't played together for 20 odd years before that. So it was, and same with John Hardman actually, because he was obviously in Tin Man before Shed.
Yeah.
And again, he was in Tigerzye with us 20 odd years ago.
See, I wish I'd seen it when you were playing Malmsteen with John playing, because he looks like Malmsteen.
He does,
or as John says, Malmsteen looks like me.
It's probably that way around now, yeah.
But even when you look at young Malmsteen and young John, they literally changed together. It's weird.
They've grown up to get twins.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
John just hasn't got the accent. Oh God. Right, I've got a little bit of a kind of script that I've been working from on here,
yeah.
and I've not actually really touched on any of it. No, it's been great. Because I wanted to like know about some of like your first ever bands and stuff that like before you worked together. Have you? Because you've never actually told me like what were your first bands?
Mine then were in 1927 before electricity. I actually started quite late in bands. I was in sort of brass bands and stuff originally. I was in. I was in school orchestra. Then I was in Sheffield Youth Orchestra. Not to blow my own trumpet.
Yeah,
I was in Sheffield Youth Orchestra. But then when
you were 48 at the time.
There's Jimmy Savile on trumpet. But when I left school, I couldn't afford then to get a trumpet because they're ridiculous amounts of money. So
could you afford a rusty trombone?
Yes. So that's what I bought. That's
how we bought this trombone.
Yeah. That's what funded it. So I just bought myself a really crappy guitar, much to my mum's horror because I'd been classically trained from about 17. And then I think my first band was about 19, something like that. And we just played it.
19 what?
The age
1912.
Yeah, well, 19 what? It's a long century.
When I was 19, which was about
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that was my first band. And we were doing sort of mod type stuff, really. Doing covers. But that didn't last long. And then I went into Paris with Mick Fernley from... Do you remember Darnell Music Factory? Did you ever get part of that? That was kind of a big thing in Sheffield. Darnell Music Factory.
Isn't Darnell in Sheffield?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it was a big, it was a big recording studio. And
they would drive through Darnell at speed, really.
Advisable. However, I actually stopped there, and they had a really good recording studio, and like it was kind of the centre of music. It was in one of the old schools, and they got a recording studio. They got loads of setups for rehearsals, and they got quite a lot of musicians and producers that helped the young bands, and they put a lot of gigs on and stuff. And I worked with them for a long time. So that was probably my first really good band because you got a lot of help there. You know, that was first time in the studio and stuff. So yeah, so it was quite late really. But I swapped from guitar to bass when I was 21, something like that, because it was when Phil Lynott died, and I didn't audition for his bit. He
that shocks me really because you auditioned for everyone else, haven't you?
Yeah. Letters back from that Ozzy Osbourne saying, "Piss off for God's sake!" He's got sort of bags full of cassettes that I sent him. He's selling him on market, I think, at one bit. But no, we wanted to do a charity gig after that, and everybody wanted to do the twin guitar stuff. And I wasn't that sparked and said, "Look, sorry, I'll play bass on this one then." And I just really enjoyed, because although Phil isn't like the best technical bass player as such, his bass lines are so cool. And I played all those classic lines, and I thought, you know what, you can stick your guitar up your arse. I'm a bass player, but smallest bass player in the world, though, sadly.
It's a nightmare as well because when you're shorter, basses are huge as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of. Like the Youngs of AC/DC. Malcolm had a huge guitar back in Black video, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Which made him. I just thought that must be the biggest guitar in the world. Like I thought it were a comedy guitar actually. But then I realised he's like 5 foot tall or something.
Yeah.
Daft.
Oh, my first bass was an Aria Pro 2, and they were enormous. I've got a picture. I'll have to show you sometime. It just looks like a double bass. It's enormous. But that's what put me onto the bass, and never looked back since. So, God, 40 odd years on it now. You'd think I'd be decent by now, wouldn't you? Really? Well, yours would be the band that we stole you from. Then was it? Was that your first band? Came to see you at that place down at Atticliffe.
Take Two.
Take Two. That's it. Yeah.
Are you going to tell us?
No.
I'm just going to sit and think about it.
That's all there is to it. No, I guess literally I laughed when Andy said brass band, and I'm going to laugh when I my brass band. I played second cornet in school brass bands, and that's my first musical journey really. So I was brass band music and all that kind of shit. But then I got roped in at church at Sunday school into Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. The church was putting on a junior production of Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat. And me being a big gob, I'll be Joseph, not realising that I had to sing. So we went through rehearsals and I thought, oh shit, I've got to sing. I can't back out of this now. So anyway, I did it and I nailed it. And I sang in front of this whole theatre full of people, churchgoers, and got a standing ovation and lifted my cape up at the end. And
you got nothing on underneath.
Yeah.
They saw me
Andy Speedos on.
They saw me 8-year-old cock and thought this guy needs to be on stage more. But yeah, so
that won't make me
what in Benidorm?
Got this standing ovation and this, that, and the other, and thought nothing else of it other than I enjoyed that. It was good, and I got this real buzz from nervous as hell for the six months of rehearsals. But then in later years, some sixth formers at school said, because I'd be wearing an Iron Maiden, I'd have my denim cut off over my bike jacket with an Iron Maiden patch on back, and some sixth formers just said, we've got a metal band and we need a singer. And he says, and my little sister was one of Joseph's brothers, which I know that sounds odd for back then, but now that's quite normal, isn't it? But anyway, so he says...
There's squeaking from the cogs in my head there.
No, but he says, my sister was one of your 7 brothers in that little junior, so we know you can sing, and we know you like metal music, because we saw you a few years ago in playing Joseph, and we know you like metal because you come to school in a bike jacket with a cut off. So that was the band that I was in when
I stole you.
When I was 15 years old, and there were these sixth formers, obviously a year older than me, and I was in that band for a couple of years, and they were called Tales to Tell, which was inspired by at that time the hot new album that was by TNT, Tell No Tales, the band TNT. So we were like, oh, that album's amazing. And so we were like, TTT, Tell No Tales, Tales to Tell, TTT. That's it. Yeah, sorry, I'm just thinking. So we were at TTT, inspired by that, Tales to Tell. And I knew Andy and Andy's mates through the job I'd just started at 16 years old, which came to see us at Take Two Studio. So that band played a couple of gigs there, and that's where I met Dave Brooks and Andy Scott and etc. etc. And then when they needed, which I mentioned earlier, a gig at the Nelson Mandela Building, that's when he said, got this gig in a couple of weeks at the Nelson Mandela Building with their band Marlowe, which then became Diva. But can you learn this set in 2 weeks? I'm like, well, yeah, let's give it a go. And that's kind of how we then started. As pulled that gig off, okay, didn't we?
Yeah,
it was okay.
There's a lot of it was original material as well. Our materials. You'd never heard it before, so you did well really on that.
And then we decided to move forward as the band Diva, which we picked up early, and then Diva became to release a couple of singles. We supported Saxon at the Sheffield City Hall and Fish from Marillion, which was a massive deal back then, playing the Sheffield City Hall, because that's where I went to see Def Leppard.
That's still a big deal now, really.
Yeah. Def Leppard, Anthrax, Metallica, Magnum, Bon Jovi.
I mean, Saxon was still a big back then, of course.
Of course they were, yeah.
Of course they were. They'd just done South America and stuff, and it was their 20th anniversary or something. Too. Yeah. So we're really chuffed to get that.
So I kind of then went on. That's when Andy grew. that's when Andy groomed me about
Dale's
that
hand
sort
is
of
on
thing.
Andy's leg.
Yeah, exactly. Well, didn't the camera pick that up?
Well, there could be people that's just listening to audio, so...
Needs audio description.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hand is
I
now
didn't-
running on the thigh.
I didn't want to put it in afterwards. Although I feel like I'm doing a Shades of Grey audio book now. So. As read by Matt Black. I sell love. Get off.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So, when obviously you got into swing of things, playing gigs and touring and stuff like that, did you have any kind of like really bad experiences or big obstacles, or can you recall any like of your worst gigs?
We were lucky actually with Diva. I don't think we did particularly, did we? They all just fell nicely when we got manager fell into place.
They were all right. Apart from, do you remember when we did that mini tour of Scotland?
Oh yeah, that was a bit weird.
And was it Perth?
Perth, yeah.
And I mean, I was, 17 years old, something like that, and we were doing this tour of Scotland and going around, and Alan caught Mary Mungo and midge fever or something. Do you remember that? Ended up in hospital with like, he looked like Spotty off Super Ted. And do you remember that? But
yeah, that was a little bit.
But there was this gig in Perth. I just remember doing my best, and there was this massive Scottish guy that was about as big as a Loch Ness monster, just leaned on our speakers, laughing at me and pointing at me. And I just felt right intimidated, and then he just goes, "Can you not play any Hawkwind?" I went, "No." "Oh, all right." And then he walked off, and then it was all right. But I think that was the only intimidating moment I've ever had in my musical career.
Was it not that one though, or was he somewhere else? Because that was a Scottish guy, and he came over, and he was massive, and he went, "I hope you can play Here I Go Again by Whitesnake, because you don't look like you're very good at fighting."
No. That was
yes, sir, I think I can.
That was in Sheffield. That was in that club near Manor. Like, do you play Whitesnake? Yeah. Good, because they don't look very good at fighting.
No, he was Scottish.
Yeah, I do remember that. That was in Sheffield, though.
Oh, it was, you're right, yeah. But that was funny too, wasn't it? Because they were offering us drugs in Perth. And then we went to Inverness. I don't think we got offered. Oh, no, he just plied us with beer, didn't he? And then at Fort William, they took us skiing.
The Alcan Social Club at Fort William.
Yeah, they offered to take us skiing after the gig. That was good.
What, in Sheffield?
Yeah.
No wonder it takes so long to record albums.
Yeah, he spent all his time doing that.
Dale's just crackling away.
Take 42.
Are you ready for your second, James?
I think I'm actually. If you could.
Yes.
I think just use your jingle, jangle, jingle, jangle, jewelry to crack another one out. At least that's not annoying. Did you buy that off Jimmy Savile?
Buy. Define buy.
Was it a reward?
What is it?
Let's just say that it wasn't for nothing.
Thank you very much. Finish that one first. Delicious, isn't it?
So as we know, when we're playing in the music world, especially in original bands, you tend to have to make a lot of sacrifices. Mm-hmm. So how did you guys find that? What did you feel that you had to sacrifice the most?
A chicken.
Chicken.
I mean, you know this yourself. If you're I'm being serious now. Can you believe that?
No.
No, I can't.
To be in a relationship with a musician,
It's like being married.
it's if you're a musician and you're in a relationship, you've got to put up with somebody's got to put up with you being kind of selfish. Do you know what I mean? Because being a musician is kind of a selfish, focused thing, and you've got to find that right person that will tolerate that, because so many people that you've been in bands with have come out of the band to start a family, to do this, to do that, and because they need to be at home. And so for being with a musician that keeps being a musician and keeps it's kind of a selfish thing. And you've got to meet that right person that understands that and puts. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
I think when someone goes out with somebody that plays in a band, especially if it's more than just playing down the road once or twice every 4 to 6 weeks, they love the idea of it. Oh, we're going to be backstage. My partner's going to be on stage performing. Everyone's going to be loving it. Blah blah blah. And then there's the whole. Oh, they're away for weeks on end. And
then the reality rubs in that it's going to be constantly like that and disappearing, and it's not an easy thing.
And it's not just the touring, is it?
It costs, it costs relationships, and you either, in a nutshell, which I've seen many times with band members, you stay with the band and lose your partner, or leave the band and keep your partner. Fortunately, I've not been in that position, whereas Caroline is very, very, she's into music. Her brother's in a band. She's grown up around musicians. So she understands and has never, ever inhibited anything I wanted to do musically.
Lonna just likes to see the back of me. She's absolutely
that
no
works
interest
as well.
No interest in music. No interest in me, really.
Yeah, he's sat watching football on a Sunday afternoon. Shouldn't you be gigging somewhere?
You're getting under my feet.
No, but it's...
No, we have been looking at
it.
And with each other, because again, you have to just be with a bunch of people that you are going to argue about stuff and not get your own way when you're writing, but you've got to understand that you've all got an ultimate goal that you've still got that core that you want to achieve, and there's going to be a lot of different ideas, and some of your ideas have to go by the wayside because it doesn't fall into the bag of stuff that you all agree on, and you can't fight your way through that, or you're not the one that's going to stay in the band, are you?
Yeah.
I mean, the most diverse for that. I mean, I think Diva, we were all fairly aligned in what we wanted to do. It was very much AORE stuff at the time, Bon Jovi-ish, perhaps a bit harder edge than that, but Psi Phi with Rob and Pod. I mean, I was sort of more Dream Theater stuff like that. Rob was completely different again. He was more funky player, and Pod's like proper progster, isn't he? He was brought up on Yes and Rush.
But you all happily agreed to write a song that was 25 minutes long.
And we actually did, yeah. But it was weird because
what was that called?
It was called Side 2.
All right.
It literally was called Side 2. It was 25 minutes long. But you'd go in. I went in with a riff once, and it was a bit of a slappy thing, and it was actually nicked from a Natalie Imbruglia track. Bizarrely, we really poppy bit. It had this really cool thing. I could just imagine some.
I only know one Natalie Imbruglia song.
Yeah, but it was off that album.
She's got other songs.
She has apparently. Yeah, not quite good and all. They were kind of sort of guitar based, but it had this funky feel. And so I had an idea of what it should be. And you do, don't you? You come in with an idea of what it should be. And as soon as I started playing it, Pod put his stuff over it, and because he got no idea of that genre of music, all of a sudden it sounded like a bloody Rush track, but with slap bass. And then Rob puts this really funky feel to it, and you've got to ride with that. You can't go, no, that's not how it goes. But it was a lot better for that, for allowing that freedom of all of the other guys, because everybody said that Psi Phi just did not sound like anything else. It just had its own sound. You couldn't put your finger on what it was. What was it? 20 years of being uncategorizable, I think.
Yeah, I always feel like we get that all the time. People, we're too heavy for the dad rock stations now, but we're not heavy enough for the metal stations. So we're just kind of we're floating. We're floaters in between. That's because obviously, like every band, everyone comes and brings their own influences to the table. Everyone's into all completely. Obviously, you've got some similarities, but everyone likes so many different things, and sometimes like Jake and Chris will have completely different ideas for a song, but then when they mash it together, like, oh yeah, that's us. Like you say, you've got that kind of that uniqueness about you. You just realise that that's our sound. But terrified if someone actually left because it would change. Really.
Yeah,
I mean, I know it changes over time anyway. Everyone kind of evolves, don't they? When you look at bands like Bring Me the Horizon, are completely different now compared to what they were when they started, and a lot of bands are. I think some bands that start off heavy end up going poppy and vice versa.
But you know that when you're writing a song, don't you? Like, so you have to let go sometimes. You'll push it, and guys will try it, but it just doesn't quite work. And then another guy will bring something in, and you go, no, that is our sound, that works, and you've got to be able to let go of it. Let go.
Yeah. Well, we've just kind of come out of that process with like 3 years of working on the album, just recording stuff, but writing. But when it come to the writing, we'd all got so many ideas on what we need to come back after all these lockdowns and all that, and we need to be doing this and we need to be doing that. We're obviously, you tend to listen to stuff based on your mood as well, don't you? Or sometimes what's going on in your life and things like that. And obviously, a lot's gone on, hasn't it, in the last few years? So we've all listened to multiple things. I've gone through some like real metal stages, right through to sitting there staring out the window listening to Eva Cassidy and stuff like that, and everything in between. So there's like, it's such a mishmash of ideas, but all thrown together. But then it still sounds like us. Do you find that with like Crimes of Passion? Who's like the main writers in Crimes of Passion, or does everybody kind of contribute?
It usually starts with a guitar riff sent to me, and then I'll think of a vocal melody, and then a hook line, and then liaise with the guitar. Actually, that hook line is a chorus, and I want to sing these lyrics, but I feel the verse wants to go here. With me not being a guitarist, I then have to describe the chords that I think it should go into next, and it kind of works like that a little bit, and but...
Yours is a bit more uniquely done, quite a lot over online, isn't it? Because you're working with that producer dude. You find that you're bouncing stuff across to Germany and back to you, and then back from Germany again over to your guitar player.
Yeah,
it's actually not.
It's not easy. It's not easy. I mean,
it's not like working in the same room.
In the
together,
days when everybody was from England and we rehearsed in Doncaster, it was easy because I could just liaise like that. But now it works in a way that I have to now wait until I go across to Germany to. It's difficult doing it online, explaining, typing, or explaining over a phone call. So sometimes I have to wait until I go over to Germany and work with Sasha and go, right, I think this needs to go here now. And he says, but I had this idea. And, okay. And it's...
There's only so much you can do online. You have to at some point get together.
It's not easy, but it still works.
Yeah.
It still works.
Have you ever thought about, like, just learning some guitar chords so you can do things on your own, or is that never kind of appealed to you?
I started off wanting to be a guitarist. I wanted to be Ingrid J. Malmsteen, but I got roped into singing and then started enjoying that. I started learning guitar. I've got guitars. I got my first guitar that I ever bought or had bought me is now under a glass sheet, and it's my bar. That's my first guitar, But I wanted to be a guitarist. I wanted to be Malmsteen. Malmsteen was my inspiration to want to be a guitarist. But I got roped into singing, and I kind of thought, hold on a minute. I thought I like being right in the middle, and without,
it's all about me.
Without a lump of wood around my neck, But I would love. What I would love more than anything is to be able to play guitar and sit down and sing and do an acoustic track myself. But I can't. I can sing. I'm a confident singer, but I would love to be able to just sit and play a guitar and sing a tune. But
he does that.
Eh?
He does that.
No way.
Well, I was the same. I wanted to be a guitar player, and obviously I've got multiple guitars and basses and things like that. But unfortunately, I play the basses like a guitarist. But I joined a band at 16 years old, and we auditioned different people, and I'd like trying to get the idea of getting someone in to sing, and we couldn't get one because the ones that were good were weird or a knobhead, or the ones that were really arty and wrote poetry on the bus were just, they couldn't sing and stuff like that. So I was singing the guide vocals while we rehearsed, and eventually they just said, "That's starting to sound in tune now. So,
Why don't you do it?
why don't you do it?" And then I'd gone from playing guitar and singing to then went into a handful of little kind of cover bands and original bands. And then obviously when I got to 19, that's when I met John Hardman and Phil Tower, and we got into stage fright. We were called Vertigo at the time, Vertigo with the spelling, which I think we were just the aftermath of another band that had come before us, really, with the same drummer. And they'd got 2 guitar players, so they were saying, we just need a singer. And I thought, stand there.
Was that the first time you'd stood with
what do I do? What do I do with my hands? I'm like just stood there, and I was so awkward. And I used to hold onto the mic stand with both hands and just stare at the floor with my eyes shut and sing for about 3 months. And then over time, I just started kind of building up this little bit of confidence to do it. But I'm not really. I love like frontmen like, you know, Diamond Dave and stuff like that, you know, your David Lee Roths and the way that they are, but I don't think I could ever be
that showman.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't get lost in that moment in the song where I'm not self-conscious. So I'm not going to be. Not that I could do scissor kick, I don't think, but I don't think I would even feel comfortable enough to kind of throw myself around in that way. Yeah. You know, I'm kind of jealous of it, really, because, you know, guys that can just, whether they're they play an instrument or they're singing and they can do that. And I think that's just amazing, you know, because you have kind of completely zoned out of what's going on in the world. It's just you doing what you're doing, and you're just throwing yourself around in the moment and stuff. And I don't know, I can't do that.
Yeah. No, I would feel completely naked without my bass. Well, I think I would be, because I don't wear anything, just the bass.
No, apart from them blue pants.
Yeah, so I would be nearly naked, yeah.
You'd be doing a flea. He would be naked without the bass.
We did that once, didn't we? We did a poster, and it was a joke. But again, clubs, they didn't get it. We did the Chili Peppers poster where they just had the socks on the cords.
Oh, yeah.
We recreated that for a club poster, and it was Tigerzye, they'll blow your socks off. It was a joke. No, club said, we're not having them here. We're not coming on stage like that. The members won't like that. It's a joke. Do you remember that? We did that photo shoot in the shed.
Yeah.
It turned up, and we knew what we were going to do. Sock on cock was the idea. And he's like, well, I've not got any socks. So he borrowed one of my socks.
He doesn't wear socks?
He didn't, no. So he put my sock on his dig, and then afterwards he's like, I don't want that, thank you very much. I still got that photo. It came up.
I thought you just still got
that sock. Yeah, still got that sock.
It came up.
He sleeps with it.
Only that Rob had.
It's now called a dream catcher.
It came up not that long back.
He uses it to put pictures up now, I think.
Yeah, so Rob, who some people know, he passed away, and at his funeral he wanted just a big knees up and bands up. So we got up on stage, but behind it said, I want photos, good time photos and stuff. So there was like a 12-foot projector, and Matty, his mate, had organised it, and there were photos, some great photos. Then all of a sudden this photo came on of me and Rob and with just a socks on cocks, because my girls then were like 12 and 14 or whatever. And this photo came on, I just said this, my eyes.
No, they don't want to see the dad like that. No. On that note, shall we have a little break? We shall resume.
Ricky the Rockstar, a music-related story for children, written by Matt Black. A book that teaches kids about the importance of friendship. Available now on Amazon.
Right, so when you're on the road, how do you keep yourselves gig fit? Because there's being fit in general, isn't there? And then there's gig fit, which is a different level.
On the road, not fit at all, because there's not much you can do to keep fit. Is the drinking beer is about as the fitness regime. In fact, I've not done many lengthy tours. I think you've done more, to be fair. You've done quite a lot in Europe and stuff.
I mean, it kills you. I mean, it's not so bad these days, because I say these days, but just before lockdown, I've not really done anything substantial since lockdown. But before lockdown, we were on a nightliner where you don't have to worry about anything. You've got your own bed. You don't have to drive. You can have a few beers. You can unwind. You can go to bed when you want to, etc., etc. And it's, I know it's not your own bed, and you're on the move, and you get woke up at every border crossing, this kind of stuff. But it's actually not that bad. You still sleep quite well because you've had a few beers, but before that kind of era of being on the nightliners, we'd follow a tour bus in a Volkswagen Crafter, where, Dale, it's your turn to drive, and then you're trying to stay awake for 10 hours driving like from Estonia down to through right down to Poland, and it was horrible. You'd arrive at the venue and you just completely in a daze of like, I'm so tired and I've got to sing. And so the only way you can do it then is have a few beers, and then you kind of get into the zone and you carry it through. But in the long run, that's not great.
Did you have to fly the plane as well when you... Was it a budget when you played South Korea?
Dear God, did I. Yeah.
That must have been quite tiring.
It's there's no... At the level that we've toured at, following bands round, following the nightliner around in our own van, and there's absolutely no way you can stay healthy and do everything correctly, and because you're all driving longer hours than you're supposed to, and you nearly kill everybody every night by falling asleep at the wheel, and there's no safe or healthy way about it. But fortunately, the latter years saw us on the tour bus with the main band. Then things change, because you have got an option. You've got your own bed. You can go to sleep when you want. It's not your turn to drive. You can, and I know it's sleeping on a bus is sort of like different sleeping in your own bed, but you're still tired, so you still sleep, and you just get woke up at border crossings, and it's actually okay. There's orange juice, there's fresh fruit, there's salads and stuff on the bus, so if you want to look after yourself, you can. So it's kind of easy, but I always opt for staying up for a few beers and chatting and getting to know the band we're supporting. You know, whether it be like Gotthard, Helloween, Rage, Saxon, whoever it was, just go and have a beer with them, and you know. And as long as you don't abuse it and just get absolutely hammered every night, then you still got it. And that's...
You've actually made some good friends out, to be fair. A lot of those bands have ended up
absolutely.
doing guest slots on your albums and stuff.
Which is, yeah, I mean, most of the bands that we toured with have guested on the albums and still in touch with everybody, and, you know, good friends.
Yeah. Some put the phone down. Hi, it's Dale. Click.
Yeah. So, you know... I mean, yes, in the long run, if it goes on and on and on and on, and your life is like that for years, yes, it can be quite damaging. But for me, I'm just like, well, I look after myself at home. I work out every day. I kind of eat healthy. I do healthy things, and I like the odd drink. Of course I do, like tonight. But when I'm on tour, yeah, I have a few beers. And as long as I don't abuse it, I'll go to the merch desk with a beer, and I'll talk to people, and I'll get on the tour bus, and there's a fridge full of beer there, have a few beers, and just chat to the people that you're supporting. And a lot of the time, the band that you're supporting are the people that got you into metal in the first place. I mean, Saxon and, you know, etc., etc. These are the people that got you into metal in the first place. Why do you want to drink a fruit juice and then go to bed? You stay up. You have a beer and you talk to these people, and you get to know them, and you have a laugh and a joke with them. Why wouldn't you? And as long as you don't abuse it, then it's fine, you know. So if you do this over a few weeks, you're fine. But then you go back home, you recoup, you stay off the booze a little bit and hit the gym and eat healthy and blah blah blah, and then you're ready for the next one. So it's like, yeah, long term, if you did it all the time, yeah, you'd really screw yourself over. But just for what I do, just enjoy it. When it's there, just enjoy it, and then recoup when you get home. Yeah, you know.
I do find now though at my age, because I'm a 8-year-old, I do have to keep on top of it all the time. I do go to the gym a lot myself now. As I've been today before I came here, and I have to go 3 or 4 times a week because it is, as we know, like doing a 2-3 hour show and all the stuff before and then going home. It's knackering if you're doing a couple in a row.
Yeah, we'd had like a couple of years off, and I just sat at home just eating junk and doing Netflix front to back, and then from there we just kind of, we're playing in Scotland, and then I think I'd lost some weight before, and then put it back on again, and I were about probably.
Did you find it in Scotland?
What's that?
The weight you lost.
No, never to be found again. I think I found it again last year, but I've lost it again since then. Yeah, it's a nightmare. I should put a beeper on it.
Yeah,
but it's I found like just coming on the stage, being just. I mean, I weren't like huge or anything, but I was just bigger for me, and I could tell when I was singing and trying to move around the stage and hit these notes in certain songs. I don't know why they're so difficult, because we wrote them. Why did I make it hard for myself? You know, so you do though, don't you? You just think, I know what my limit is, so I'm going to push it and just and it's good on
write it while running around the stage there, did you? Late. Should have thought about that.
Night after night. It's I can sing this once in the house. 10 nights in a row. Oh no, and it's a bit of a wake up call, isn't it? Because we've all done it. I mean, I think when I first met you guys, I used to go to McDonald's and buy like 8 cheeseburgers and a fries and a Coke, and I could get all that for £10 at the time, and I would still always be built like a racing snake. You could still see my ribs. now I can't. I've just got to be careful now, and I think that's, like as you say, as we get older, it is more of a challenge to stay fit, but then stay healthy as well, isn't it? Because people can be in shape but still be unhealthy. But when you were talking about the not getting any sleep kind of thing, the moment I don't get much sleep, my voice goes tiny.
Oh gosh, it's sleep. Sleep horrendous. Is the massive effect on your voice. The sleep thing really is. Yeah.
Funnily enough, actually, we were just talking about that mate of mine, our old singer mate Mark, who he's done 20 odd years of singing on the cruise ships and stuff, and he proper hammered it. And he did drink every night and go to the buffet after the shows at 12 at night and stuff his face running and smoke a lot. And he's only 47, something like that. He's literally had a massive heart attack recently and had a quadruple stent put in.
Wow. And
that is, again, like I say, from not looking after yourself, you can soon get into that, can't you? Like touring and stuff, it is easy to slip into that mindset of just having loads of beers, having takeaways, not exercising, having loads of fags. and it's really shook him up, you know. He's only 47 and he's had a massive heart attack and had to have 4 stents in. And that's the damage that, you know, being in a band can do, I suppose, isn't it? You know, I mean, he's not in a band, but it's just similar situation, isn't it? You know, touring loads. I've been on cruise ships and that.
I've been kind of strict no drink when I'm on tour for a long time.
No, you don't, do you? No.
I used to drink early on, like in early bands while singing and things like that, and sometimes you'd have, could have 1 or 2 so you'd take the edge off, but then I'd have like a few more and think it sounds great. And it doesn't sound great when you watch it back.
It does not, does it?
Well, there's a difference between like a few drinks and being pissed, you know. It really is. I mean, I have a few drinks before I go on, absolutely, but I never get pissed.
I have one before first set and one in between before second set. That's me. Really.
Yeah, we kind of like all the guys in Farron. They might have one before they go on, but it's kind of this unwritten rule. We all know you don't do the gig off your nut, you know.
People's image of rock bands, especially something like Farron, it's like it's all wild women and loads of beer and whiskey and that, and actually sat it back with a cup of tea and Josh knitting.
And Rennies.
Rennies. It's just not quite what you expect, is it? It's not like that being in a band.
No, it's it's interesting. What do you do for like voice care and things like that? Is there anything you do at all, or do you just hope for the best?
Yeah, I care about my voice. Yeah. No, to be honest, the biggest benefit that's come to me is just doing scales every single day, and this could be just driving the car. I go through a vocal exercise because I went to music school, and the vocal tutor taught me this exercise to do, and I just do that literally every day, whether it could be in the car. And I've actually, because I'm working from home at the moment, so I'm not driving the car as much, like to and from work or to go and pick Carol up from work, which I used to do it then. It only takes like 5 minutes. Just go through the scales every single day, and this makes a massive difference to keeping your voice in shape. So I bought this vocal muffler that you're probably okay in here, that you can come down here and warm up. But my cabin that I built, it's not as acoustically dampened as this. So I bought this muffler that you can put over here. It looks like an oxygen mask.
Right.
And I can put that over, and you can still breathe, and it cuts like 75% of the noise out. So you can.
No one can hear you scream.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And where can you get these from?
So I bought this, and I thought, well, because I'm not driving as much now, driving Carol to work and so on and so on. So I thought I'm missing out on my exercise. So I bought this thing where I just put it over, and I've done my scales every day. I mean,
it's not got a leather strap and like an apple kind of at the front, is it?
It's kind of like a dog shake helmet,
yeah.
You know,
with little ears.
Yeah.
I would say the only
Is
time
there a zip over the mouthpiece?
I wish there were.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
The only time actually it occurred to me about vocals, I know we do backing vocals, was during COVID. Because there was such an extended period, wasn't there, where we weren't singing at all.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I've always done the silly eye backing vocals, haven't I? Been. And I thought, there's no way, because it became very clear this was going to be a year at least, that we were all going to be locked away and not do anything. And I thought, there's no way I can go a year and then come straight back and go, whoa! So I started doing some of the, I mean, everybody did lockdown videos, but rather than doing bass, I actually purposely learned some stuff and went back to something that would keep my technique and did the some more operatic-y sort of stuff, didn't I, like that, the Bring Him Home and stuff like that, because that does take you back to base. You've got to sing properly to do that stuff, haven't you? So I kind of taught myself that just to be able to keep my voice in shape, and it really worked actually. That was really useful, I think. But that's the only time I've really kind of thought about my voice. I thought, bloody hell, I should do something to keep it in shape.
It is a bit of a use it. I mean, you can overuse, but it's a use it or lose it situation, really. I found like when we were in the lockdowns, like me and Libby were doing acoustic kind of duo videos, just putting them on YouTube and social media and stuff like that. But I weren't really giving it some, because we were singing nice little duets, and I learnt a lot, really, because as much as you think you know, you can always learn more. And I ended up learning how to sing harmonies, because I've never really been the harmony singer, because I've always sang the lead. So I was a nightmare, and at first it was really difficult. But then she's taught me things that I can now pick out harmonies, which has been a godsend on this new album, because I could actually start layering things on demo ideas I was sending off. So it were already that kind of full picture from the off, rather than saying, well, it will sound big once we've put these Queen-style vocals on it and things like that. Turned it into the Eagles. But yeah, I had a bit of a shock to the system coming back and then having to sing this like aggressive style vocal with Farron. And then I was just like, oh, God, it's just really hard. It's like they don't know, because it's still coming out the same, but you know yourself when you're pushing harder than you normally would have to, and you're basically just wearing your voice out, aren't you, as you're going along throughout the night. But you try to just smile and pretend that it's not bothering you in the slightest. But we still have them now. Like we go out gigging on weekends. I do it, and Libby does that, and we'll sometimes sing together. And we'll just kind of go, my voice is catching tonight. I can tell. It's like by the third song, you know if it's going to be a good one or not, because you've had enough time to sing and warm up, and you've had 10 minutes of singing it live, and you really start warming up to that gig, but then you just know, I need to reserve this a little and just really think about what I'm doing.
Just sometimes find it hard going the other way if you don't know like a Farron gig, because that's full on, and then the next night you're doing sort of Jovi or Journey, which you have to really clean.
Yeah.
Does that sometimes screw you over a bit?
I have to think about it. It's more natural for me to just belt it, and it just has that kind of natural husk and distortion, where you're not really purposely gritting it up to a point that it hurts, but I think it husks up, doesn't it, over time as you get older. You get that kind of your voice seems to get like wider and warmer. And mine were really like thin and a bit shrill when I was younger, and it still is to a certain.
We always go, stop it.
Yeah, and then it's just got to this point where it's like it's starting to sound a bit warmer now when I'm actually singing. But my problem is because being with a band and then belting it out, and then I might go and do an acoustic show with Libby, and we'll do like a chorus song or something like that, and I'm singing the harmony and I'm belting it, and I'm thinking, actually I need to get back off from a microphone because I'm here to blend with rather than compete with a full drum kit and everybody else kicking out loud distorted guitars and basses. So it's
because yours is the same, and you're very different, aren't you? Because the Crimes of Passion stuff is pretty similar, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's full on.
Yeah.
Not notch it to 11, whereas actually with us, a lot of what you're doing in Toto or the Tin Man stuff is much more Journey-esque type stuff. So, yeah. In fact, it took you a while to wind it back down, didn't it? Because you'd done a lot of Crimes of Passion. Then you came back to doing this, and you had to kind of just rethink that a bit, didn't you? And to notch it back into the Journey style a bit again and clean it out.
Yeah, but it sort of just, it kind of just happened, really.
It did, it slotted back in quite quickly, really.
Yeah.
It's like when you look at guys like Jeff Scott Soto, everything he sings sounds metal, but he tends to sing in a lot of AOR-style bands.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
So it doesn't sound metal, but he's really husky and powerful. But then, I mean, if you were to put him with a metal band, it would sound monstrous.
Yeah, it would actually,
But normally it's quite melodic what he's doing,
Well,
so there's this nice balance.
He actually did the screamo vocal parts on Nathan James's album, where Nathan James did an album of his favourite female singers.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Like metal singers, and did the Evanescence, Bring Me Back to Life. That's the one. And Jeff Scott Soto is the guest vocalist on that for doing the screamo parts.
Right.
And it sounds
I didn't know that.
Fantastic.
They're like close friends as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And but listen to that. I mean, Nathan's an amazing singer anyway. Yeah. But Jeff Scott Soto does the screamo part in that, and it just sounds great. It sounds amazing.
You shouldn't associate him with that style.
Yeah.
Would you?
It's weird when because obviously when you hear him singing like Journey stuff, it's his voice is worlds apart from Steve Perry, but it still worked. But obviously people who
I loved it when I saw Journey at Newcastle City Hall or wherever it was with Jeff Scott Soto singing. I loved it. I thought he did a fantastic job. I loved it. Then because I've toured with Jeff Scott Soto. A couple of times.
I've never met him. I've spoke to him through the internet. He's one of my favourite singers, and we very nearly met at a Hard Rock Hell event.
I've toured with him, spent a bit of time with him.
Missed each other.
Spent quite a bit of time with him, and he's a great guy. But
I think he was quite annoyed, though, wasn't he, about the way it went with Journey?
Of course, he was. Of course,
because I think they just wanted a safe version, and they wanted another version of Steve. And he was never going to be that. He was going to do Journey in his own style.
It's a shame because Jeff Scott Soto's releases after that with the wet stuff.
He did say, didn't he, on an interview, this is the album Journey could have had.
I thought that some of them songs could so much have been the next Journey hits on the wet, really, really.
Yeah. Because a lot of new Journey. I mean, the Journey fans, they don't want new Journey.
No,
from what you see online and things like that.
Yeah.
And it's not that the new music isn't great. It's just I don't know if people are just kind of so focused on what they created early on because it was so amazing.
Yeah.
But so has it shadowed the new stuff, or do we just think the new stuff's not as strong as that stuff? But I mean, it's the bands. It's not exactly the same lineup from during those kind of peak years. But yeah, I mean, he's always writing, isn't he? Like Jeff Scott Soto, I always see that he's releasing new things with new products all the time. So he's constantly on this person's album or he's guesting on something. So he's always
he's really busy.
Yeah, like the productivity there. I mean, I wish I could just get a third of that out in the time that he does it. It's amazing and to still tour as well.
Yeah,
like we've been doing I've been doing shows and things on a weekend, different things, but then recording Farron vocals midweek, and even then, just only having that day in between those sessions, it's I can feel it, and I'm thinking, oh my god, I need to just guzzle a load of water and sleep for 24 hours. But yeah, it's something you can admire, really. I don't know. I'm just. I would love to be able to sing the way that he does. Yeah. But at the same time,
wouldn't anyone?
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't anybody like to sing like Jeff Scott Soto does on "I'll See the Light Tonight" on the Malmsteen track? "I'll See the Light Tonight." Wouldn't anybody like to sing like that?
Yeah.
You know.
But it's weird though, isn't it? Because people have certain tastes of things. Obviously, like you've got people like Tony Harnell, he's not really that. He's got that kind of high, but it sounds thin, but it sounds amazing. But it's not the same as Jeff Scott Soto's. They're both amazing in different ways. And then you have people that would hate one and love the other, you know. So it's always like when I was in Serpentine and Tony Mills was singing. Obviously, he had that kind of high end, kind of like a bit squeaky kind of voice, really, and it is like a bit of a Marmite voice because people absolutely adore it, or they just go, "Oh my god, I can't listen to this." And when I was singing that way, you'd often get people writing things and saying, "Oh well, you know, this just sounds a bit weird and squeaky and blah blah blah," and I don't think he can do anything else. Because it was just up there, you know. Yeah. We're like 10 to the dozen from the off, and it's all the way through the gig. Yeah. So I don't know. Like what we've done on this new album is try to write something that shows every kind of style. Like I'm singing lower than I've ever sang. I'm in anything, but I'm also singing higher than I've ever sang and more aggressive. But then things that are so soft and whispery, and I'm trying to push myself to be
a bit more diverse.
And just show like how versatile I can try to be. And there's a lot of people out there, they only do one thing or two things. And then it's a case of, well, do people like it or they don't like it? And it's a weird one. You can't please everybody, can you? Nah. You just you've got to just keep doing what you do, I suppose. Because if you keep trying to chase all the feedback that you get, you'll be forever changing your style, trying different things all the time, because it's just not...
You've got to go with what you believe in.
It's not going to work. I wanted to ask as well, Andy, because obviously you guys have got a keyboard player who plays in a number of your outfits. Yes. So, Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know what... There's this kind of like... rivalry that goes on between you, because you're neighbours, aren't you?
Yeah.
And you're forever posting things on the internet to abuse each other all the time.
It's quite an abusive relationship.
Yeah. How did that start to reach the point that it has now?
It started by moving in next to each other.
Oh, so did you not know each other before that then?
No, we didn't at all actually. But it was literally from the first.
Wait, didn't he come and see? Used to come and see Tigerzye though.
No, I don't think so.
No, he did.
Did they? Well, I must have ignored him then.
No,
I didn't
he
know
used
him.
he used to come and see Tigerzye with that mate of his, Nathan.
How did they?
Yeah.
Oh right. Oh, well, I never knew him then. No, I must have ignored him. So first time
Andy were pissing in bingo machine.
I was too busy pissing in bingo machine. Now, first time I met him was literally when he moved across road, and it was one of them that literally from the first time we spoke, it was quite piss taking, and we got on straight, and when we knew we could push each other's buttons without it. I mean, literally the other week we've had a tree, and he complains because he can't see in the house properly. So he knows they. We had the tree chopped down, and within minutes, literally of the tree being chopped down, he'd taken a close-up photo of our window, of our lounge, with a picture of what was it? Not Philly Schofield waving out of our window. And at Christmas, he'll come over. He's a right bar humbug. He came out in his pyjamas. I was doing the decorations outside, all the Christmas decorations. And Jess's boyfriend was helping him. They were only like 16 at times. He was quite impressionable and like, trying to help with the dad. And Richard come out in his pyjamas, storming across the road. Take them down. What are you doing? He looks like a bloody council estate on here. Look at it. And his boy boyfriend's like, oh my God, what's happening? But it's just the way we are with each other.
First time I ever met Richard was being involved in this Tim Mann thing, which came off the back of the Drumbeat Presents thing. So when we decided this Drumbeats Present thing was going to be a band, and Richard was roped in as a keyboard player because Andy knew him. The first thing, my first time meeting. I've just smacked that thing. First time meeting Richard was in the practice room. A practice room down near opposite, like what was it, the City Sauna? What was that place called that we're on documentary?
It was City Sauna.
Yes, anyway. First time meeting Richard. Richard walked in, looked around the room. And before he introduced himself to like me that had never met him before, well, I had met him before in the past, but before he introduced himself, he just like, has anyone ever had a wank in here?
That was his opening line. He'd never met Shed or Dino or anybody at his opening line. I think Shed just blinked at him. I don't think
So, yeah.
What's the worst thing he's ever said about you or posted online?
Oh, fucking hell.
Oh,
sorry. Sorry, can I say them? Can I swear? Apologies for that bit. He's looking at the time I just said, fucking hell.
To edit it.
You better look again.
Flip.
Can we not say that?
No, I'm making sure that my cameras are still on because it's episode 1, so I want to make sure that it doesn't go into like economy mode.
Can we say the F word and stuff?
You can say what you want.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Just bleep it out. Right. Or his magic button.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
What was the question?
What was the worst thing he said? I don't think we can probably even say it. It's that dark.
Shit. No, there's absolutely no way we can say on camera that you can broadcast the worst thing Richard has ever said.
You cannot, literally
no
cannot.
Way.
If the police ever got hold of his phone, he'd be in jail for about 15 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't go there. No, it's dark.
No, let's leave that one.
Have you ever had any experiences with people you don't know, like on tour, that have done just like other bands that have just done weird things or something awful or something that you've just gone, wow, what's going on here? Because I've met some strange people over the years.
Met some odd ones, but never had anything that's particularly like been weird, I have to say. But I've not done a lot of touring abroad and stuff. You have, haven't you? Actually, you've done quite a bit of touring. My men's man, mainly in the UK, and I go home and I don't have to tour with weird people, apart from him.
Just the ones in your band.
Yeah.
When we were following Saxon round in our Volkswagen Crafter.
Weren't on tour with him.
No, just stuff.
Followed him in a van.
Yeah.
Pulling up at Morrison's.
Hello, it's me again, Biff.
Nibs.
I can recommend the cheese sandwiches.
Nibs was just like so fucking like on the drink all the time, we're in a truck stop and the tour bus is there, and we were there in our little Volkswagen Crafter, and I got my laptop. Alan Partridge on playing, and we were all just sat there quite happily having a few beers, watching Alan Partridge. And Nibs was that like pissed. He just wandered into our little Volkswagen Crafter, and like it weren't even a case like we knew him because we've been gigging with him for like 3 weeks. But do you know when you just know you can't communicate with someone? And it was like, and he just came on like that, looking round, and none of us thought like to say like, "Are you all right, Nibs?" It was like, throw something at it. Yeah, just it was like a zombie had gone on, but a few hours later we were fine, like completely sober, and like it was like, oh gosh. And then,
is that just alcohol then, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then another occasion, when we were on a ferry going across, I don't know, from Estonia to, and Nibs went missing, and he was found in a janitor's cupboard asleep, janitor's cupboard, so I think Saxon got a bit pissed off with him, and he had to clean his act up a little bit. And sorry, Nibs, for saying this, but yeah, he honestly had to clean his act up a little bit. But yeah, and then we were on tour with Anvil as well, and I remember having a Leatherman, and what's his name? Rob Ryder, drummer. And he saw this Leatherman I got, this little, tiny little Leatherman I got. Now, I was doing some, I think I just took a bottle top off it. He goes, "Oh, dude, has that got a little screwdriver on it?" Yeah. So, oh, cool. So, like, can I borrow that? Like, yeah. And so gave it him, and he got a tin can, and then pierced all these little holes in the bottom of the tin can, and basically made a crack pipe. And like, oh, okay. Just, oh dear me, yeah. Okay.
Wow.
I mean, there's shitloads more, but a lot of it I can't freaking. What was the question?
just anything weird or anyone weird you kind of met on the road, or
lots.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
Most.
A lot. Being like kidnapped by the Hells Angels in Bergen, Norway, and just play this gig. We were absolutely hammered. Is that still working?
Yeah. Oh. It is. It's all right.
We're absolutely hammered, and we were touring with Jorn Landai. Amazing vocals.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were touring with Jorn Landai, and then we were the second on, and then the first band, I can't remember the name of them. They were like a Viking rock, just everything, smashing bottles on their heads and pouring blood and all this kind of stuff. But
where were this, in Barnsley?
Yeah. But we got them hammered with a drink called an Irish car bomb, because they were all on like Jägermeister. Oh, Jäger, you have a Jäger. So, let me show you an Irish car bomb, which may be controversial, and I'm sorry, but that's what it was sold to me as in New York when I was in New York. And what it is, it's a Guinness, then you neck the first third of the pint of the Guinness, and then you drop in like a fluted shot glass of Jameson's, half Jameson's, and then topped up with Baileys. Then you drop it in like a depth charge, and you neck it. And it's beautiful, and it's called an Irish car bomb. So I introduced these guys to it, and then this singer from Manifest. That's it, Manifest. And he, we're in this like local bar next to the venue, and I described this Irish car bomb to it, so he kept, oh yeah, this is cool. He kept making them, and this singer from Manifest was like, oh, Jäger. He drank 3 of these and then vomited all over in this, and like you fucking Viking shit, you fucking Viking, all this kind of crap. But then later on, I mean, we were all bollocks on stage. Intro tape came on, and Kev, it was supposed to be in like a double kick intro, and Kev just going, and it says, Kev looked at me and goes, I can't feel my legs, So we did this gig, and then after this gig, there were the Bergen chapter of the Hells Angels in, and after this gig, and like, you come back to the clubhouse, so I said to the promoter, is everybody going back to the clubhouse? Yeah. So it's okay. He says, okay. So I went with these Bergen, like Hells Angels, back to their clubhouse, which was like in the middle of nowhere. So we went for miles and miles, and I thought, oh gosh. And nobody else came. I was just there, and I was really, really scared.
You think we were a wicker man and burned?
Nobody else came, but the promoter had said, "Yeah, we're all coming back there." So I just went with them. So I went in my stage gear, guy liner on the lot, and I was there till like 5 a.m. And we were supposed to leave the hotel, check out the hotel at like something like 10 a.m., something like that, and I was still missing. So, but anyway, long story short, after being scared all that time, they took me back to the hotel, and everyone's waiting, and I'd arrived back in the hotel. Everyone's waiting to go to the airport. I arrived back in the hotel in my stage clothes, still pissed up, like Angels. And then literally just recouped as much as I could, and flew home, and then I thought, where's all my radio mic? And we're all still in venue, wasn't it? So they had to like ship all my radio gear. Just literally just being kidnapped out of the venue by the Hells Angels and taken them back to their clubhouse. Like just fed like more Jägermeister and stuff like that. I'm just morning like, oh man.
That sounds like a nice kind of kidnapping, though.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, like
kidnapped and forced.
Oh my God! They took me away and they gave me food
and alcohol.
It
was dreadful.
And I had a great time.
There was no food.
And then they took me home.
There's no food.
Oh, the monsters!
But the scary thing is that nobody else came with us. So until the point where they delivered me safely back to the hotel, I didn't know if I was going to just like be eaten or something.
Yeah, we're warming him up for something.
Yeah, I didn't know because nobody else came back. Just me. It was just me.
There's an initiation process.
So nobody else came back, and until they delivered me back to the hotel safely, I didn't know whether I wanted to die or not. I had no idea. It's not funny. It's not funny.
Did you not see like the promoters and everything the next day? Then did you not question it? You say, "Oh, you told me to go to this place."
All we saw the next day, I saw my own band, Crimes of Passion, and the taxi driver back to the airport. That was it. I didn't see the promote. Nothing. I just like.
Good night out then.
I mean, it was good, but I was just scared because nobody else from the gig came back. Nobody else came back. I'm just like, man, I thought, oh fucking hell, oh shit. But one of the other weird thing, well, not weird, but when we were on tour with Helloween and played in Helsinki. And Henning knew Justy 69, who was the drummer from the band 69 Eyes, which they're quite a big goth band in Helsinki, in Finland. And so we were on the tour bus, and Justy had been to the gig, and he came on the tour bus later because Henning knew him, and so we're having a beer with him, and a lot of people wanted to sleep, unfortunately, on that night. So somebody grumbled about us talking. So this Justy 69, who was the drummer from 69 Eyes, he says, well, come back, we'll get a taxi to my apartment. So what time's the bus leaving? 6 a.m. Like, fine, okay. So Justy got us a taxi, and we went back to his apartment this is like 69 Eyes are a big deal, like multi-award winning in Finland. So anyway, he's got this big penthouse suite in the middle of Helsinki, and we walked in and it was just all like boxes everywhere and stuff and a bit of furniture. And he says, I just moved into here, and all right, cool. But because I'd just been dragged out of bed, I was literally in my bunk with the curtain open, looking forward in the tour bus and joining and having a beer. I got a Stormtrooper onesie on and flip-flops, right? So
very rock and roll.
So I got this Stormtrooper onesie and flip-flops, and I goes, oh, let me get changed. He goes, no, cool. This is cool. Come like this. I'm like, okay. This is Finland in January, Helsinki in January. So got in a taxi. I went back to his apartment. I thought nothing of it. I've got a stormtrooper onesie and flip-flops on. Right, well, fair enough. And he got more beers out, and I already had a skinful. And he started showing us all these gold discs of like, because he's a drummer for other stuff and a lot of folk stuff that goes off in like Helsinki and stuff. And it's like, and there's all these gold discs and like multiple like awards and gold discs and this and just like putting them, where is it? Buried under all these things and trying to show us stuff. Like, holy crap, this guy's like, like the real deal. And then I was suddenly I thought, where's your toilet? Where's the toilet? He goes, I don't know. I've never used it. He says, I just moved in. I think it's over there. So I went.
Shit in corner.
I went. I literally opened his bathroom door and just like, it went everywhere. Everywhere. So I spent next like 30 minutes cleaning up this perfect unused bathroom in this apartment he just moved into. And I came back out. I said, I'm so sorry. He says, it's okay. I don't care. And he's still looking through boxes of like these gold discs and stuff like we're heading. And then anyway, we had a few more beers. And then time to get a taxi back at like 5 a.m. or something for a bus call at 6 a.m. at the venue, trying to get a taxi. So I'm trying to get a taxi in a blizzard in Helsinki in a stormtrooper onesie and flip-flops in a freaking blizzard, like minus 30 degrees, like this. And all taxi drivers just pulling up like, what the hell? And just
driving past.
Oh, man.
You would though, wouldn't you?
Like, there's no way I'd stop for that.
Yeah. Just,
That's quite a good story.
yeah. Oh, geez, yeah.
Do you think he's on a podcast being asked what's the weirdest experience he's had, and he's telling the same story
There was this
about
guy
you?
in a stormtrooper. Minus 30. What is wrong with him?
I mean, there was another one. I bought a sleeping bag suit, which is like a sleeping bag with arms and legs in.
I have been wanting one of those for about 4 years, and Libby just keeps saying, no, it's not happening.
I got one as an X-wing fighter pilot from Star Wars, and so that's my sleeping bag on the tour bus. I think he might be filming this,
If he is.
Yeah, I think he is. So I bought one. We came back from a tour we're doing with the metal band Rage, which we're out with later this year. And we got to Dover. Calais, to come back to Dover. And obviously we're at the UK customs. And everyone's like, everybody out, passports. I'm like, woke up. Of course I'm still in me X-wing fighter pilot full suit. So I went to passport control with full X-wing fighter pilot suit, pissed up. I had my passport over. He like looked at me up and down, and he says, "Where have you been?" I says, "I just destroyed the Death Star." I can't actually tell you what on screen what he said back to me. I'll tell you after. But anyway, yeah. So let me through. We just didn't blink an eyelid. Apart from, I'll tell you exactly what he said to me after. I can't repeat this on camera. But
I'm keen to know now.
Yeah,
you are, and I'm sure everybody else is, but you won't find out.
I don't think we're going to top that throughout the rest of this evening.
No, I don't think so.
That's my.
We should end it there.
I've got more, but
yeah, you can tell me another one if you've got another one.
Right.
Once upon a time,
so that twinkle in his eye just then.
In Switzerland, it was a warm-up gig that Crimes of Passion were doing above a bar. There's a photographer that took a real shine to the band and said, "Will you play in my local bar before you go on tour with Saxon?" So we agreed to play in this local bar, and so we did this gig in this bar, and we did Crimes of Passion set, and the locals loved it, and you know, there's about 100 people there, something like this, but we were staying in the apartment above the bar, which the landlord owned. Now, when we went in earlier, there was a big language barrier here, and I thought it said, you know, you can sleep in your room, in any room here, and so I put my case in this room that was all done in pink, like pink wallpaper and stuff. So okay, well, this is where I'm sleeping. Fine, okay. So, and thought nothing of it, and then because I was just about to embark on a Saxon tour, I thought we did the gig downstairs, got pissed. I thought, you know what, I better call it a night, go and have an early, do the right thing as a singer. So I went up and I went in this room, and my case had gone. I'm like, oh shit, where's my case? So, but then I found it down corridor, and I thought, oh, okay, and then so I got my case and I went back to this room to take my case back into this room. There's a woman in there, and she's like, no. Okay, all right, okay. So I went, and I thought, do you know what? I'll just get my sleeping bag out. I'll sleep on a fucking sofa. So I went, got my sleeping bag out, and I just laid down on the sofa. And so I'm laid on the sofa, and I drifted off. Next thing I know is like, you know, you feel like that. Someone sat down at the end of bed, the sofa. I felt that, and it woke me up. Like, and it were her crying, right? It were her crying. And I'm like, what the hell? You're like, what's going on? And I think I just wanted to sleep. And there's this woman sat crying at the end of the settee. So I'm like, are you okay? And she didn't speak any English, but the okay thing obviously is universal. I'm like, you okay? And she went, no. I'm like, crying. Then she put TV on, which was like, I'm laid like this, the TV were there. And she put on literally a QVC for sex toys. So this comes on, and she's watching this, and I'm thinking, this is weird. And then anyway, she stopped crying and then went to bed in that pink room, which was hers. And I just thought, oh, fuck it. And so I went to sleep. Next thing I know, it was the photographer who wanted us to play at that bar came in with his wife and kids to say bye-bye to me, and they'd obviously been down drinking with everybody else. And they came in, and I heard Doug. I woke up like that, and it's Stefan with his wife and his kids, and so I woke up and sat up, and Stefan says, "Oh, we're going now. We see you in a couple of days on the the first day of the Saxon tour, blah blah blah." So they walked in, and I in his sleeping bag, sat up. And Stefan walks in with his wife and two kids, which were teenagers, but walked in, and then his wife looked at TV screen, and there's this shopping channel for these big black fucking dildos and stuff, and all. I mean, proper full on
incendiary ones.
Like the images we send to each other kind of shit. Like that,
serious ammo.
And Stefan's wife, she looks at TV. She goes, "Stefan," then she tapped him. And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry," and they all made a really quick exit. I'm like,
it was the woman.
Yeah.
Do you think this woman actually exists, or is he just trying to cover?
I'm sorry, I made that woman up. But it was just, I just never forget. I'll never forget his wife going, looking at TV and tapping him like they disturbed me, like Stefan. I'm sorry, and I'm like, oh, how do you explain this?
Honest, a woman came, sat next to me and turned the porn channel on. But she's gone now.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll go with that. Sounds reasonable.
So, but then the other weird thing is that the guy whose apartment it was kept reptiles, and I think I used his cushion on the settee as a pillow. And I must have had some allergic reaction, and my eyes swelled up, and they looked like a chameleon. And we got a photo shoot that next day with that Stefan in like a stone circle thing that were going on somewhere near there. And so I had to wear dark sunglasses, but my eyes, like when your top and bottom eyelids puffed up, and just a little like a chameleon. Because when I got up in the morning, there was the band that had supported us at this bar below, and I got up and I thought, my eyes feel funny, and this French-speaking Swiss guy in this band
screamed,
looked at me and went, "Whoa!" And I went, "Ah!" And he goes, "Dude, look in the mirror." Oh, fuck. So all day, my eyes were all like puffed up like a chameleon, just like looking through a slot. Just like, so I had to wear sunglasses for these photo shoots. Oh, dear me.
I'm so glad we hung about for one more.
That was
worth it.
It was, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh, well, I'm definitely going to have you on at some point again, aren't I, really? Because there's so much more.
There's a lot more ground to cover, really, isn't there?
Yeah.
That only took us to about 1994, didn't it? We've got another 20
What
years
about all
to
these
go.
questions you got for us? And what about these things about trying to make each other laugh?
Ah, well, we didn't have time because we
laughed.
We just enjoyed ourselves. I'd really like when I was thinking about, I'm going to put a little podcast here. I thought I'll just put a little kind of skeleton script there just in case I need it. But then I didn't really need it.
Because we talk shit.
Yeah, and I love that.
Yeah.
We've known each other. I mean, we've known each other like 30 years, and I've known you like 17 years now. So that it's kind of natural.
We do talk a lot of crap. That's why we're friends.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Well, thank you very, very much for coming on. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have.
Of course we have.
Excellent.
Of course we have.
We'll do it again. Part 2.
We will. Andy Scott and Dale Radcliffe. Oh yes.
See ya.